What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all platforms, Twitter? Welcome to another episode of the True Blue Big Blue Podcast with yours truly. The Big Blue Crew is in the building.
Yep.
Classified 3F with Joel at the bottom.
Hello?
G Nation Inside Sports to my right. And you all know Big Pat Sports Talk in the building. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Carolina Panthers. Actually, going to
Yes.
do a little film review for you guys tonight as well about the Panthers.
Yes.
This game we're actually slated as the favorites. They got us at 2.5 favorites, so they got us at 2.5 points. Um, I don't know if that's a dangerous thing for us. I don't know if that's a bad thing because usually when we're the underdogs, we play like crazy. But they got us as the favorites against the Panthers with Baker Mayfield and those guys. So,
Yep. Yep.
um, couple of injury updates, as you all know. I let you guys know on full access earlier today. Aaron Robertson had an appendix surgery, so he will be out this week and more than likely next week as well. Um, Wandale Robinson, his knee, he will be out more than likely. But Brian Dabo did give some encouraging news on Wandale Robinson today that said that his knee is doing pretty well, way better than 2 days ago on Sunday.
Wow.
He said he's doing pretty well.
That is good news. But I would still keep him out a couple more weeks.
Yeah, most definitely. Shannon Watson, what's going on?
Hey.
Tommy for Tommy, Wells,
Yo.
Jesus, Nimmer, Eric Johnson. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yep.
He says, Big Pat, talk that talk. You were right last weekend, bro. Yeah, the Big Blue Crew was right.
Yes.
Get the ball to Saquon Barkley. We was gonna have a chance to win that game, and when they got it to him, guess what happens?
And then I said after week five, maybe week six, all of a sudden that boom, they come together and they're meshing like one. Oh man, I can't wait to. And by then we might be 4-1. 5 and
Right,
0 maybe. You never know.
right. Tommy for Tommy, what's going on, bro? He says the trenches want to continue to get better and dominate more consistently. Jones just needs to get his head out his ASS when it comes to pocket presses, running the ball with convention and interceptions. I think he played a very good game. That interception in the red zone was uncalled for and was very, very bad mistake. But he did make up for it, driving us for a game-winning touchdown drive, and Saquon Barkley did his thing on the two-point conversion. So
Well,
I give him a pass, a little bit of a
is it
pass for that interception.
is it they willing to give him on a pass, or you're willing to give him a pass because week one? Because win or lose, he would have been a okay playing the way he did.
Right.
Just a, just an example.
Tommy, he also says Robinson went down and Dable will not jeopardize Tony coming off injury. They are taking it slow with the injuries. Yes, we're going to talk about Kadarius Tony in a second. Unpopular opinion sports, he says, was good, fellas. What's going on, NYG? Yeah, you could join a little bit later, Nimmer. Um, the whole fact, what's going on, Taj? Shannon has something to say. He says, O line just got to jail. We will be hard to stop. We also need a deep threat at receiver, man. We have a deep threat at receiver in
Hey, maybe next
Darius
year,
Slayton.
maybe next year in the draft we realize we need that number one, or
Right,
instead of drafting one, he signs one. There's wheeling, there's dealing, there's moving and shaking. And I tell you, these got me semi pumped up already.
Sorry, I don't know what the heck happened, but
Oh,
cut out.
okay. Yeah,
I'm
you're
getting
good.
beat up by my son on Fortnite while being on the live with y'all, so don't judge me.
You know, but again, it comes down to who's going to play better, and that's who you put your money on.
right. So when it comes to our receiving core, as you know, we have Can't Get Right, Kenny Galladay, Richie James, David Seals, Slayton. Kadarius Tony, Wandale Robinson, Shep, Riggs. Our receiving core does have to get better, and I think it's just this new offense is going to take a little time for them to get used to this new offense. Now, the thing that I have noticed, and I think that this will go forward, is that these guys are going to come up with a different game plan where different receivers are featured each week, more than likely, because we don't have a number one. Some may even think we don't even have a solid number two. So they're going to come up with game plans to see exactly which receiver can be dominant against that team this year, because we just don't have the number one receiver like most of these teams have, like a Devontae Adams or Hopkins or a Tyreek Hill or someone like that. Wells, what's going on? What's going on, Timothy Frith? Thank you for tuning in. I believe they're gonna have to put in Slayton and Seals this week because Wandale Robinson is got injured. He injured his knee, so
I
they're gonna have to put both those guys in.
I hope they go night in the box, because that's gonna leave everybody on one. And what happens when you leave us 1-on-1? Things happen.
Right.
We gotta play.
We win. That's what happens. And we can continue winning and winning and winning. Like Charlie Sheen, winning.
Super Taj World, he said this could be a game for DJ to cook since the Panthers may make a game plan on Saquon loading up that box. They're definitely going to make DJ beat us. I truly believe that. We're going to go ahead and get into the Panthers preview. I do believe they're going to load up the box and make DJ beat them. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I do feel that they're going to pay extra attention to the run. And a lot of teams in this league, because of the reports that's been made on DJ and what DJ has shown back in the day when he had no protection, but we're not going to go there. A lot of these teams are going to feel that DJ can't beat them. And so this is going to be probably a game that DJ is probably going to have to prove that he can go out there and lead this team to a victory. I'm not going to say that they're going to stop Saquon Barkley cold, because I don't think you can do that with our offensive line. But I definitely see them putting 7 to 8 men in the box at times and be like, hey, look, DJ, you make a play. Let's see if you can make a play to beat us. So I don't know, Lou, if you're able to answer, or Joe, if you're able to answer, what do you think the Panthers' game plan on defense going against our offense this week?
Panthers defense, they're going to try. They tried to go 9 in the box if everybody on third down. Because first and second down, if they go 9 in the box, they're going to be fake a handoff, and they're going to be able to drop back in time to get on our guys. And I think we can give Daniel Jones enough time to get that ball out. And he's going to have his trouble, but I'm going to bet this week he beats the blitz. Sure, Daniel Jones, he gets 300-plus yards and 3 touchdowns throwing.
Okay, I can get with that.
Running, 2 passing, a couple running touchdowns, a field goal or something in there. We score 30, 32 points, we win the game.
Okay. Miz, I don't know if you want to come on tonight, Miz, but that video you did was absolutely hilarious, bro. That video you did was absolutely hilarious. If you want to come on, let me know. NYG says they sleeping on Slayton. I truly believe that the Panthers are going to believe that we can't beat them deep. Same way the Titans really thought about it as well. Christian Fulton really messed up on that play against Riggs, where he got the 65-yard touchdown. He kept his eyes in the backfield because of why? Because we were giving the ball to Saquon Barkley and he was gashing him. So even the DB was looking in the backfield like, okay, what's Saquon Barkley going to do? And Shep snuck right behind them for the touchdown.
Yep.
Now, their defensive line, they did lose Hassan Reddick, but they still have Burns, who I believe is an up-and-coming star in this league. And they still have some pretty good defensive tackles as well. So, I truly believe it's going to be another test for this offensive line. More than likely, they're going to put Burns on Evan Neal's side because Andrew Thomas is a beast. Like Andrew Thomas is a monster. That dude's going to be an All-Pro this year. You see how fast he's playing?
Yep.
When you really look at the film on Andrew Thomas in that Titans game, man, nobody really got past him on any down. That was crazy. Like Andrew Thomas is a beast, man. But let's see what our run blocking can do against this Panthers defense.
Our run block is gonna run all over them boys.
Neil,
They ain't gonna be able to stop the New York Giants.
you told
Period.
Neil I ate
Carolina
a
Kittens
little
gonna be
bit back.
purring.
So you believe that we come with another run heavy scheme this week?
I believe we come with a run heavy, but maybe the first, second half to make them load the box, and then we kill them with the pass game. Second half.
I could
All
see
right,
that.
Miz saying he's gonna coming on in about 10 minutes. Shannon, he says Breida has to come and play because they're going to stack the box, like you said, Pat. I mean, yeah, if they stack the box, it really doesn't matter what running back they put in there. If they're stacking a box like that, I would want Barkley to stay in there because they have to pay attention to Barkley. But let's see what they do, man. I believe Azudu is going to take over that left guard role until Shane Lemieux comes back. Azudu was making some pretty good plays, even though he gave up a couple of plays. But when he started to, get the feel of the game, he was moving, man. That's another fast lineman on this team. Azudu can move, bro. Like when he was pulling, and believe it or not, he was one of the main reasons why those runs were breaking off as well. Azudu was going to be a pretty good player. I believe that was a very good draft pick by the Giants. Andrew Thomas is going to handle his. Evan Neal really handled his. He gave up a couple of little plays here and there, but he's a rookie. I expect that. But I'm with Lou on this one. I believe this offensive line is going to block pretty well, and we're still going to be able to get some runs. Now, will Saquon Barkley do what he did against the Titans? We have to see. Because when you play like that, that puts the league on notice that hey, Saquon Barkley is back. We got to stop him. So that's where DJ comes into play for me, and that's the next subject I'm going to get on with this Carolina Panthers preview. Like Joe said, I think Daniel Jones is going to have to throw us to a victory this week.
And we need to see one within the first 3 weeks. I want to see him. He's got to show we can win running and we can win with his arm. And right now, I think they're gonna gear up to make Daniel beat us with his arm. Hey,
I
all power to him, but Daniel's got to prove that.
I truly believe that these teams are going to start playing off of and stop sending all those zero blitzes that they send, and they're really going to make Daniel Jones beat them. Because when they were sending those zero blitzes, it made it a little bit easier for Daniel Jones to get the ball out once the line started to block correctly. And if our offensive line starts to turn into one of the better offensive lines in the league, like NYG predicts, you're not going to be able to send those zero blitzes in all the time because you're not going to make it there in enough time before Daniel Jones can get it out to one of his receivers. So I think Daniel Jones is going to face a lot of zone this game, and I think they're going to run a lot of cover 3 in zone against us and see if Daniel Jones can pick his spots. And I believe they're going to test us to throw it deep. That's where Darius Slayton comes into play for me. I'll be honest with you. I believe Darius Slayton could really make this offense pop because he takes the top off of any defense. So if you have to worry about Darius Slayton going deep, that means you don't have all that coverage in the middle of the field to stop a Richie James or a Kadarius Tony or even a Can't Get Right. Even Can't Get Right got 2 first down catches. He didn't do much. It was 2 for 22 yards, but it was 11 yards a catch. So maybe Can't Get Right can get open underneath because he's not seeing coverage
Yep.
like that. So I don't know. Tommy for Tommy says, I'll take that bad play from play to play on the O-line, but with all that, our O-line is light years ahead of what they should be or have been in years. True.
Yeah. Yep.
NYG says, Andrew Thomas is the main reason why I said this line is going to be a top of the league at the end of the season. Hey,
Yep.
he's definitely going to be a top
Three.
And
two,
that's a fact.
3 offensive lineman for sure.
Yep.
Like Andrew Thomas is playing extremely fast, strong. He's sound. His hand movement is great. Like I don't see too many people beating Andrew Thomas this year. Tommy, Tommy, he says eliminate some of those bad offensive play calls. Some of those calls were super bad at the wrong time. Yeah, in the beginning of the season, you gotta think Kafka was getting his first real action in the regular season himself as a play caller. So I commend him for adjusting his play calling in the second half for sure. That was amazing the way he adjusted his play calling in the second half. He says our offense is set up to win in the trenches and to slow our playmakers to be explosive. We will definitely be an offense that is able to get what we want. True. Ty says facts. Shannon says absolutely. Pinnacle Productions, thank you for tuning in, man. Hit that like and subscribe button for us. This is my first time seeing you, Pinnacle. Thank you for tuning in. He says, don't forget Bobby Johnson being a great O-line coach. True. Says nobody realizes that we had Bellinger, Robertson, Neal, Azudu, all rookies, and yes, they were all playing Sunday. Speaking of the tight end room, how did you think about our tight ends, Joe, the first game? Do you think they underwhelmed, or because you really didn't hear much from the tight ends, like anything? Like I think the tight ends only got one catch, and that was Myrick for the touchdown at the end of the game.
That was a perfect plan for anybody, for the Giants, who plays that position. Now, you want him to be sneaky good, but you don't need him to be good all the time. You could get away with 2 or 3 receptions, but that'd be 60, 70 yards for 3 for 70 yards. He has 1 for 20, 1 for 15, 1 for 35. Hey, that's good. It's great. Moves your chains really deep when you need it. And those should have been caught in the second half. I liked it. It felt the tempo. We should have been up by 30. But Daniel Jones did his usual Daniel Jones, so everyone says, and we won the game because they're kicker, not because Daniel Jones. Blah blah blah, whatever. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Daniel needs reps. Daniel needs a line. He's got a line. Now, that line does misstep once or twice in a game. But for most of the game, he's got a good offensive line. And at the end of the season, if you have top 5 offensive line, I want to get there. Our tempo, didn't they give us 40s or 50s through the whatever, where our left tackle had 80.3%.
Oh, Andrew Thomas had an 87, I believe.
Yeah, an 87. Our next 3 were, what was it, 40 or 50? That's got to get better.
40. I think the interior line from the left guard to the right guard was like 45, 50. Then I think Lewinsky pulled like a 61.
Yep. That's got to get a little better. They got some more.
It's got to get much better.
It has gotten better, and in this system, it's all going to get better.
Yeah,
go ahead, Pat.
Okay, our offensive line. We're honest here on the truth with the Big Blue Crew. Our offensive line, they gave up 5 sacks, and I'll say at least 3 of them were on the offensive line. I think 2 of them, Daniel Jones just scrambled and ran into somebody, and it caused a sack. Is it an improvement? Yes, I think it's a drastic improvement because we had linemen averaging single digits last year. So 40 is a hell of a lot more than a 6.
Yep.
But that does have to improve. If we want to be one of the top offensive lines in the league, everybody's going to have to average at least 70 or above. It can't just be Andrew Thomas damn near at a 90 and everybody around 40 to 50. That's not how it's going to work. Evan Neal has a little bit to
Yes.
work on as far as pass protection. His pass protection as far as blocking down is not up to par where it's supposed to be as far as being a dominant offensive lineman. But like I said, he is a rookie, so I do give him leeway on that. But some of his down blocks, he was a little slow to get to the area. And when it comes to faster defensive linemen, faster edge rushes, his hand placement is not where it's supposed to be a lot of the times, and it causes him to fall. Me and Joe went through that before we even drafted him. We showed that.
Yep.
Once he learns that hand placement and learns that all he has to do is move his feet because he's a freaking titan. He's like strong as hell. They're not going to bull rush you because you're huge. All you have to do is get your feet placed. As long as your feet are firm, they can't overpower you and knock you off balance. They're really not overpowering you. They're just knocking you off balance. So once he gets his balance game together, I think we're going to have 2 bookend tackles, and we should see that around week 5, week 6. We should see Evan Neal be a very, very good offensive lineman for us. Pinnacle, he says DJ will improve as the team improves. This is a real team we got with a real coach in front office. True.
Yep.
We could have scored 35 if we played better in the first half.
Yep.
Hey, look. Joe just mentioned that. I do see where we left a lot of things on the field. There was some third downs where we left some completions on the field because of pass protection wasn't up to par during that part in time of the game. But once we got it clicking, we put up 21 points pretty quick. And DJ threw an interception in the red zone, so we probably could have still almost put up 30 Sunday.
Yep.
So that's very exciting to see. Hell, 21 points. That's a huge amount of points from for us compared to last year.
Yep.
So I'm not going to disagree with that. He says our D-line linebackers need to commit to the blitz or pass coverage without hesitation.
Yeah.
True, the hesitation killed us. And speaking of that, Tommy, you're absolutely correct. There was some hesitations on pass coverage when it came to Crowder and Calitro, and that guy Dontrell Hilliard ate us alive in that game. And so we're going against Christian McCaffrey, who's 10 times better than what Hilliard could ever be as far as pass catching. So the hesitation will kill us. And I'm going to show you that with some film study and a little bit later in the show. Tommy says feet placement and balance is everything in sport. True. NYG, he says they need time to gel. That's it. We have 3 out of 5 spots playing solid. Last year we had 1 left guard and center is a problem, but not a complete disaster. Give it time. No, It's not a disaster at all. Be honest with you, it only looked like a disaster in like the first quarter, but after that they got their acts together and we went at the Titans and we beat them up, especially in the second half. We beat them up. I don't think we gave up a sack in the second half. I think all those sacks happened in the first half.
And not only that, but if our backup, who's the kid on disabled, he's going to come in the starting left guard. Twisted his leg up real bad in the Giants about his second week or first week when we played Washington.
Oh, you're talking about Nick Gates?
Nick Gates, he'll be coming back. He's coming
they
back.
said he's projected to come back this year. He'll probably be ready to go around Thanksgiving more than likely.
Well,
and if he's playing, if he's anything like he was, he'll take that spot from Feliciano at center.
Yep.
If we had a healthy Nick Gates at center right now, our line would be set.
Mm-hmm.
Our line would be set. Those 5 sacks wouldn't have happened if Nick Gates was at center. I promise you it wouldn't have. Because Nick Gates was very smart at helping his guards out and pass protection very well. He knew how to get there and double team a guard when he doesn't have any responsibility when they're trying to do a stunt or something like that. So, yeah, Nick Gates could come back and play. Hopefully he can play at a level that he was. heck yeah, our offensive line would be set. He says Dable holding DJ accountable on that pick on the sideline is what DJ needed. True. I think DJ needs a coach that cares.
Yep.
And DJ is the type that he's going to work at whatever you tell him to work on, and he's going to work extra overtime to do it. And so he's only going to get better with time. And yes, he is holding everyone accountable on his team. Wink is holding everyone accountable, so is Dabo. And Kafka's up in that booth. We could talk about Kafka real quick. I was very impressed with Kafka for the adjustments that he made after halftime. We all have to remember that this is his rookie year as well, as far as calling plays for our offense and being the main play caller. And did it start off rough for us in the beginning of the game? Yes, it did. We got down 13-0, and we looked almost like we did last year as far as moving the ball. But he came in that second half, and he really showed what his play calling was about. He made some very good play calls. He got Saquon Barkley involved in the game, which is a given. So it is what it is. I think Kafka going forward, I think he's really going to get it done for us as far as his play calling. Now we have to work on personnel-wise as far as what we're going to do with these receivers. Or, dare I say, the first time I could ever say it is receiver by committee. And what I mean by that is whatever the game plan is, they're going to use whatever receiver they feel can get the best out of the team on that particular day against that particular team. So one week you might see Can't Get Right feature. Another week you might see Tony feature. Another week you might see Shep feature. Another week you might see Richie James feature. This week just happened to be Richie James's time. And I'm telling you, Richie James is really earning some playing time in my eyes, because Richie James seems to be like the only receiver out there that knew what was really going on. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Tommy, he says Jones is super accurate. I hope he continues to have a strong chin like he has.
Jones going to kill him, bro. Jones is going to kill the Carolina Kittens. We're going to make them totos purr.
Like he has had, and it keeps bouncing back up. But better yet, just keep getting the ball out with no hesitation. He will rise. True. With Joe Judge, anytime DJ made a mistake, he never seemed to hold him accountable. I don't think he knew how to. Those sacks was all right. We have a new team, new coaches, new scheme, rookies out there. No other team would have done better with what we have against us. True. We finally got a real coach. Yes, we do. Tommy says, don't say Joe Judge no more.
Okay.
Whoops. Gummy Bear, thank you for tuning in, bro. Good to see you. He says, Big Blue got it done. Yes, they did. He says, boo. The only thing Judge out of New York is Aaron hitting home runs. True. He says it's going to be Young Jokers League real soon. Let's speak about Kadarius Tony, guys, because as you know, Coach, what's going on, Coach? Thank you for tuning in. As you know, the Kadarius Tony rumors are sprouting up again about him not being focused on football and not being the guy that we need him to be as far as a first-round pick, about him not wanting to learn the playbook or not putting great effort out there. I don't believe those rumors, but he only got 7 snaps against the Titans. What do you think about that, Joe? What do you think about Kadarius Tony only getting 7 snaps against the Titans?
Well, like what Kadarius Tony said. Give me 7 wins or 7 plays. If we won, shit. Next question, please. I don't care. You know, he might not be up at it. He might not be. Maybe they know something we don't. Or they're just protecting him. I don't know. But I like the plan. I like the scheme.
Yeah, I truly believe that they're going to go into every game, and more than likely there'll probably be a different receiver featured for that game because they're going to attack them in some way, shape, or form with the particular receiver that they think that can get open against the opposing defense. So I'm not really worried about the Kadarius Tony snap count because Shepard, he only got 6 snaps or 7 snaps as well. And Shepard caught the touchdown. So it's really going to be a receiver by committee because we don't have a number one receiver. So I don't think anybody has the right to complain about snaps in the first place. Kadarius Tony, you're coming off the rookie season where you didn't get a touchdown, can't get right. Shepard, you're coming off of Achilles. Wan'Dale Robinson's a rookie. Richie James, you're coming off a knee injury from last year. Slayton, they didn't even let you get on the field. And Seals, we all know what Seals is. So we have a receiver by committee here, and they're going to come up with a game plan to get those guys acclimated with the game plan. And it just is what it is. Hey, you do well, you get snaps. That's basically what's happening with this team at all positions. To be honest with you, the better you play, the more snaps you'll get. Roche got less snaps than Tamon Fox last week. Does that mean Roche is not a team player or doesn't know what's going on? No, just Tamon Fox was just balling his ass off that game. So it is what it is. You're going to have to earn your snaps on this team this season, and that's the way it should be. Big Fan Breezy, what's going on? He says, hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button and subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys for tuning in. Honey Badger, what's going on, bro? Hope you're all right. He says, what's up, fellas? You think Kayvon and Azeez will play? What's your thoughts on them? It's trending that they're doing pretty well with their recoveries. But I'll be honest with you. I don't play Kayvon or Azeez until I know they're ready to go fully healthy because they're too important to this team. They're too important to this defense. I'm not finna throw Azeez Ojulari or Kayvon Thibodeau out there and they're not 100% and risk losing them for the rest of the season because we put them out there too early. That's just my assessment. If it takes to week 3 or week 4, then so be it. Next man up. That's how I see it. What do you think about it, Joe?
Yeah, I don't want them getting hurt neither. Don't throw them back out there too early. They need to get 100%.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'd rather see them 100 instead of see them going out 95. Nope, 100. And the trouble is, the cast issues are so tricky.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that left calf issue. Whew, boy, if he says he's ready to start, wait till next week and then start him.
Yep, that's what I would do.
That's what I'm thinking.
You go out there and tell me you're ready to play. Okay, well, sit out this week, and I'll let you play next week if you feel the same.
Yep, that's how it works.
Hey, he's going to be pissed, but hey, I'd rather have you for 14 weeks than not have you for no weeks. So, yep. I mean, that's the way I think about it. I definitely don't want to rush those two back because they're too important to the team.
Listen, prime example is RG3. They rushed RG3 back and threw him back in the game too early. He re-injured himself, and he shattered his confidence. He was never the same again. He second-guessed himself for the rest of his career. They ruined that young man.
Yes, they did. And I think they did it on purpose, to be honest with you. But
yeah, Shanahan, we all know what Shanahan was doing.
Tommy says we have to support him as a fan base, meaning Kadarius Tony, and let him know we believe in him. Coaches keeping him fresh for injury, especially with Robinson going down. We can't afford Tony to go down as well. True. He says just wait until Tib and Azeez get in. We'll be 10 sacks. I hope so. Honey Badger, and he changed his picture quick. He says, what receivers you think will be off the roster next year? If we have a bad season, I would say all of them except for Wan'Dale Robinson. I'll be honest with you, all of them. If we have a bad year, but I don't think we're going to have a bad year. So, Shep, maybe they bring back Shep on another team-friendly contract if he decides he wants to come back. But Galladay for sure, Seals for sure, Slayton for sure if he doesn't get any playing time. I think it would be a mistake, but I mean, that's the route that it's looking at is going if he doesn't get any playing time, especially if he doesn't get in this week with Wan'Dale Robinson going down. And Tony, if Tony is still only getting 5 to 6 snaps a game, that's too much money to be paying a receiver to play only 4 to 5 snaps a game like he's a fill-in. So we'll see. That's a good question, Honey Badger. Tommy says our defense will be better if we just rush 4 and get coverage sacks. No, because our DBs are not up to par. We have to put on pressure, and that's not the way Wink plays his system. Now, this is one of the only times I disagree with you, Tommy. If we sit back and play coverage like the Patrick Graham thing, we're going to get 8 alive. I promise you we'll get 8 alive. We have to get pressure on that quarterback and make them quick, sound decisions to where our DBs can make those quick tackles and get them off the field.
Sterling Shepard is going to get re-signed. He's going to be a big part of the reason that we go 11-6. Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, and I believe Wan'Dale Robinson and Richie James. I don't think Kadarius Tony's going to make a dent. I think there's too much commotion and too much bullshit buzzing around him. Whether it's him, whether it's the league, whether it's the fans, whether it's the media, it's just too much. It's become a shitstorm, and he hasn't produced. So
right.
It's going to get worse and worse. If he don't come out and ball out this game, it's going to gradually get worse, and he's going to be off this team.
Yep. It really is. I can already see it. He's going to have to have a good game here soon. NYG's is right. They're not playing any favorites. They're not. Hey, Jesus, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Jesus, he said someone said once Aziz and Tibbs come back, we aren't going to blitz as much. But I don't believe that. I believe we're going to go all out when they come back.
You won't have to. With Leonard Williams and them two at the edge, they'll create enough of a pass rush that you won't have to blitz. The way the New York Giants won in 2007 and in 2011, we had a 4-man rush that was so dominant that we didn't need to blitz. And when you can create that much pressure with your 4-down linemen, your linebackers can drop back in coverage and help your secondary shut down the field.
True. If we could get pressure with just 4 people, our defense is going to be top 3. Tommy, you said his coaching staff has a good hold on the injury thing, not rushing anything, and it has shown since camp. True. Nemmer says, I wouldn't rush them back. I will wait till Cowboys game. Me too. He says, a pissed player can become a hungry player. True. Coach, true. We'll see. Tommy for Tommy says, Dex and Leo are unstoppable who didn't see the amazing job they did that had Ward looking like a Pro Bowler. True. Big Blue Doja, he said, yes, no more damn coverage sacks. He says, we can get the QB with 4 as soon as Tibb and Aziz get back. Watch coverage sacks will come easy. Hey, that's just going to be a regular sack. Because if they get into the quarterback, that means the covers don't have to cover that long. By the way, what's good, family? What's good, Doja? Hope all is well with you. Guys, do you think Daniel Jones will return back next year also? That's a wait and see, bro. Got to wait and see. Tommy for Tommy, our defense will get to the QBs rushing 4. Watch as soon as Tibbs and Aziz get back. We'll see. Alex, what's going on? Alex, Big Blue in the Bronx. He says, welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk. Did you see what Renan said on his pod about Tony being lackadaisical and Dable telling him to get his effing helmet on? I mean, yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean, that happens. But that was way back in August, so who knows what has happened since then. I'm not taking that to heart. Now, if he continues to only get 5 snaps a game, then we know what's up. So I'm just taking a wait-and-see approach. Miz, he says, tried to tell people Tony has to mature, but I got a feeling Tony is going to be a big factor this Sunday. I hope he is, Miz. Dex and Leo killed it for real, for real. Yes, they did. They clogged up that middle, and they let Jahad Ward do what he does, which is hold that edge against the run. We're going to have to do the same thing against Christian McCaffrey. He's just a little bit more shifty than what Derrick Henry is, but he's no Derrick Henry. He's no King Henry, so I'm not going into this game believing that Christian McCaffrey can beat us. I just don't see it. He said, I've been saying this about Tony for a year. He's a little immature and seems to not have gotten in the line. 2 years now, 2 coaches angry with him, but he's a talent, so hope he wakes up here. Who says Dabo was angry with him? There's been no reports about Dabo saying that he's angry with him. I keep telling you that I think they're going into each game with a game plan for those receivers, and whoever they feel is a receiver that can get open, that's who will be featured. Richie James got most of the snaps against the Titans, so I'm not reading it. Unless you've seen a report where it says Dabo was angry with him. I don't see it. Show me a fact. Show me proof that what Dabo said out his mouth that he is upset with Kadarius Tony and he doesn't feel like he's mature and he doesn't feel like Kadarius Tony can produce for this team. Show me the article. Show me the article saying that Brian Dabo said that out of his mouth and it was quoted. And I'll wait. And once I see it, then I'll make a assessment. Tommy from one time, he says Ward wants to play and Fox look like he can really give us a good rotation down the line. He does. Like Tamon Fox really looks fast out there, man. Hopefully young Joker holds it down the whole career as a Giant. He will be one of the greatest playmakers this game has ever seen. Yes, if he gets it all together and puts it together, yes, he can. We need Tony the ball. He's a hell of a weapon. True. Joker is our best weapon as soon as he gets 100%, and he may not be 100%. Tony and Coach are good. He's just working with him and slow from the injury, just like Shep. True. Dabo won't throw players under the bus, Pat. It's obvious Tony annoying people. Come on now. He's way too talented to get 7 plays a game. Who said they were annoyed with Tony? Like, if he was being annoyed, he wouldn't get in the game at all, bro. Where is it that's showing that Tony has been annoying the teammates or teammates are mad about Tony being on the field? Shepard didn't even get that many snaps. According to USA Today, Giants are 20th in the NFL power rankings. The Buffalo Bills are number 1, as well as they should be number 1. Miz says sooner to be Tony, Shep, James, Galladay be on the bench a few more weeks. That's the way it's going. Okay. I think it's Bredesen, Tommy. Go listen to Carl Banks, Pat. I listen to Carl Banks. I listen to all those guys. I haven't heard anything about Tony being a nuisance to this team. What's going on, Jay-Lay?
What's going on, man? Yeah, man. These losers. Oh, go ahead. No, I don't understand these people. Where all this stuff, everybody coming at Tony, man, just because he didn't play, like you said, Pat. I mean, the coaches have told us this, that they're going to go into each game with a different game plan, and I just because he didn't do a whole bunch of stuff or didn't think what you guys thought he should have do or whoever thought he should have done, we're not in those meeting rooms, bro. We're not in those practices. You can't just say that, oh, he must be pissing somebody off, or not Joe Judge guy, but Dayball must be mad at him or something. For what? They just got off a victory. What could he have done? I swear, man. After we're 1-0, we come off the victory, and they still have some time, even if they're just making up stuff, has just find something to Dokabo. Kadarius Tony must be, on the shit list, or he's in the doghouse. Like, why? Can we just celebrate the win and go into the next week? Hopefully, maybe they got something else planned out. Maybe they got another kind of game plan planned out that we haven't even peeled back yet for us to even see. I mean, these guys have been pretty strategic with everything they've had going on. You think they're just going to feature everything in the first game against the Titans?
They can't feature everything in the first game because they're all still learning. Mike Kafka's still learning how to call plays as a first-time offensive coordinator. But Joey B has a very good quote right here. He says, "Sup, Big Pat? What's going on, Joey B? Hope all is well with you." He says, "You don't run a pass option with the player you don't trust." Exactly. Like, you don't run a option like that with a receiver you don't trust. I promise you don't. Tommy from one time, he says, they have the Cowgirls beating us 40%. That's blasphemy. That was probably with Dak Prescott in there, but now I think we'll be favored in that game too. He said the Jets are last and 32nd in power rankings as well as they should be. NYG says Tony is being himself. People want robots. They'll figure it out. I think these guys are smart enough. True. Jeffy, what's going on, Jeff?
What's going on, guys? My apologies if my voice is a little raspy. I was just screaming my lungs off doing the AEW Dynamite show all over with the guys. So how you guys doing tonight?
I appreciate you coming in.
Thank
you.
Beef.
He says, hope by cookie means 4 TDs because 17 for 21 will win you every time. Yeah, more than likely. If he's going 17 for 21, you're doing pretty good. Carl Banks said the days of not practice and play Sunday are over. Carl Banks got to put the work in. If that's true, Miz, that means that they're holding him back to keep him healthy, bro. That doesn't mean he's not like y'all got to make sense of y'all. It's like y'all try to find a person to attack. Yeah, it's like you want to find a person to attack. Maybe the game plan wasn't called for Kadarius Tony to be out there, or maybe he was being held back for injury purposes. Shepard, he got the first receiver touchdown, 65 yards, and I think he only got like 8 snaps. They'll hold him back for injury. So it might be just injury purposes. And yes, he does need to get healthy and get on the field. I agree with that. But I mean, let's not create a narrative talking about they're upset with Tony. Like, come on, man. Hey, Susie says y'all are creating a false narrative of Tony. True. Yeah. Tony definitely getting better from injury. Not making nothing up. Tony didn't play because he didn't practice. He has a history of not being serious. He wasn't practicing because he was hurt.
And when does he have a chance of? I mean, when does he have a history of not being serious?
Right. Where y'all get this from?
What's up, NYG?
Yeah, what's going on, NYG?
What's going on, NYG? I think that
what's good?
I think that last year, I mean, in previous years, man, they had like talked to everybody saying, "Well, don't say this to the media, don't say that." I think Dabo was like, as long as you're not disrespecting the organization or yourself, or you know what I'm saying, or the NFL, then speak a little freer than normal. Because I mean, look at Saquon even going out there saying he's tired of people talking shit, and I ain't never heard Saquon cuss on camera. And he cursed. Dayball, when what was it, Arch Stapleton or whatever, said that dumbass shit at the beginning of the year, and then when he asked him a question, he was like, answered him in a smart ass way. Like, I think they're just getting a little bit more vocal, man. And that was a dumbass question. I mean, we say it all the time. People always asking stupid questions. I'm talking about the reporter, not you, Miz, or anything like that. But the reporter that asked Kadarius Tony that question is like, why would I be mad? You're trying to bait him into being that selfish guy, or to being that problem in the locker room, or not taking things serious. No, he said, I don't care if I get 2 plays. As long as we get the victory, why would I be upset about anything? And why would you waste your time as a reporter asking that question? Is that what you get?
Because you want to start shit and you want to get people saying things just like this. Let me catch up this chat real quick, and then NYG, I want to hear from you on a couple of things. Tommy from One Tommy says Dabo knew we can win without him when Robinson went down. The reps changed for Tony to not jeopardize him. Hey, Miz, if you do come on the show tonight, if you're able to come on the show, I want you to show me those facts about the things that you're saying about Tony. Bring me some facts. Wells, Eric Johnson, thank you for tuning in. He said, if things fall right, we could be 5-0. Yes, but let's take it a week at a time. We got to beat Carolina first. He said, yes, you do. When he's the only one that can throw and run how he do, you're wrong. If you don't trust the guy, you're not going to put him on the field at all, and you're definitely not going to put him on the field in a situation where he can make a huge mistake. You're definitely not going to put him in that position. Why? If I don't trust you, why the hell would I put the ball in your hands at all? If I don't trust you.
If I don't think you're taking it seriously, why would I put you in the game in my first coaching appearance with a rookie or offensive coordinator with the game on the line? Why, if you're not taking it serious, why would I put you in the game in a serious situation?
I don't want to interrupt real quick. Who's in the top left right corner? Is that Taj? Who's like a dot?
That's me. Top right corner. No, that's Lou.
Right now, that's Lou. He doesn't have his emoji up.
Okay. My apologies. I just got a little confused by that. Thank you for clarifying.
Hey, Coach. What's going on, Coach? He says reporters are there for only the beginning of practice. That's stretching warm-ups and indies. Understand the game being played to drive interest in their stories. Right. Tommy, he says Tony good with the coach's game plan. Wasn't jeopardizing Tony after Robinson went down. KT proved it by not throwing into coverage. Exactly. Shannon, it's a 17-week season. Exactly. Tony's going to ball out this season. He got the it factor. He says, wait, Pat, you got to understand that media narrative is that people are listening to trash media. I think Kadarius Tony will play really good this Sunday. I hope he does, Nimmer. They're just trying to keep players healthy and utilizing all 53. Darren Gordon, thank you for tuning in, bro. Tommy, he says, let's talk about how our O-line is a big turnaround from preseason going against the Titans, put together D-line. It was a good victory against a great defensive play calling coach. We are battle tested. True. NYG, you there?
What's good, bro?
I want to get you. Well, I'm gonna wait to the Kadarius Tony thing until Miz comes on because I really want to talk to him one-on-one about that. But what do you think about the receiver room, minus the Kadarius Tony rumors and everything that's going on? Do you think that they're going to allow Slayton to play this week? What do you think about this receiver room going forward? Because a lot of people say the receivers underwhelmed in the first game, and I can't really be mad at them. And one thing that I feel that we were lacking was that deep threat. Zeke, what's going on, bro? Thank you for tuning in, Zeke. I really think we were missing that deep threat, and I believe Slayton brings that to this team, and I think he can open up this offense. That's just my opinion on it. What do you think about it?
First of all, shout out to Wells, man. Yeah.
So Wells.
It's all good, brother. You know what I'm saying? I won my fantasy game against Wells, the Big Blue Crew Fantasy League. But that's a sidebar. But talking about the receivers, I think what I really think is Daniel Jones has to play with a certain type of receiver. And this is something we talked about, me, Jeffy, and Coach last night on the podcast.
Yep.
He wants receivers that he can trust. Like, and it's not a knock on guys like Kadarius Tony or Kenny Galladay or whoever, whatever receiver you want to name. But the guy wants guys that he can trust to be in the right spot. So that's where it goes to Coach Daboll's model: smart, tough, dependable. So are these guys smart? Are they tough? Are they dependable? That's the questions you got to ask yourself. Why some of these guys aren't playing? Maybe it's because they're lacking in one of those three categories. Now, we know guys like Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley are smart, tough, and dependable. Yeah, they might not be dependable from an injury standpoint, but you can't control that. That's just something that happens. But what they can control, they're smart, tough, and dependable. I think Daniel Jones is smart, tough, and dependable. Darius Slayton is smart, tough, and dependable. But, as you said, Pat, they also want to – they're kind of sort of experimenting with these players, I think. And what I mean by that is they want to see what they can do with what mix of players. And I think, Jeff, you made a good point on the show last night, how the rotation went. They had certain groups of wide receivers in there at particular times. So they want to see what these guys can do with each other, and also they want to see which receivers Daniel Jones feels more comfortable with.
Okay.
Shout out to G Marley in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Who's getting ready to speak? Was that you, Jay Lay, or was that Jeff?
Well, just to bounce off his point too, we talked about last night on NYG's show is that I think this coaching staff wants an all-around receiver too, not just to be able to be a receiving threat, but can go out there and block. Not just in trusting them out there in terms of being on the field to be in the right position to get the ball and have Daniel Jones trust in the receiving game, but he could throw those guys out there and they can go out there and block in the running game. And I really believe that's an important aspect of what Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka are looking for in his wide receiver. How you doing, Miss? That's why you saw guys like Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay, and Richie James out there a lot when it came to certain packages because they're the veteran wide receivers on that core, and they were able to be trusted when it came to blocking down that field and being those all-around receivers that, can get it done in multiple aspects. And you saw another rotation. It was I think David Sills, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Kadarius Tony at times. So he's shifting these guys in and out depending on the type of packages they're using on the offensive side of the football. And I really believe that in terms of the all-around game and who Dable might trust as like complete receivers overall. He trusts those veterans a little bit more than he does some of the young guys. That's why you saw Galladay, James, and Shepard being used the most towards the second half of that season, because they know they can go out there, they can be dependable in the slot or on the outside. Galladay was actually pretty solid in terms of his blocking too. I mean, Shep was a demon out there, and James was our go-to guy when it came to the receiving aspect of the game. So Tony's going to be utilized. Jeff. What's up, Lou?
Let me tell you something, brother. The New York Giants are going to come out this week and kick the Carolina Panthers in the nuts.
Man, I wish I could do that impression right now, but my voice is blown out right now. Sterling Shepard's going to block and catch like a madman. I hope so.
Sterling Shepard's going to come out there and catch and block like a madman. And the New York Giants are going to get the W and be 2-0 for the first time in over a decade, brother.
Right. Shout out to Sarkon. He says, what are the keys to stopping the Jaguars offense? Well, I don't know. We're playing the Panthers, but I understand where you're going. I'll be doing a film review on Friday. So I'll be doing a film review Friday night and showing exactly what I think we can do against those guys. Mark Stewart,
Miz had me laughing yesterday. Miz had me laughing with that fucking video. So what you gonna do when Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, you're channeling in your inner Hulk Hogan there.
That shit had me dying, bro. That's why I said, let me tell you something, brother.
But I just want to finish my point real quick before you guys go ahead. I think it has a lot to do with right now with the people that Dable trusts in terms of like an all-around wide receiver. And you don't think blocking is a big aspect of this? The run game is what's right now the predecessor of this offense. And Dable wants his guys to be able to go out there and be complete receivers in the blocking game too. That's why when it came to the goal line situations and when it came to certain running packages, you saw Galladay, you saw Shepard, at times you even saw Sills. He's going to put his guys out there that he trusts the most that can be all-around good receivers. Tony will get his chances, but he might have to become more of a better blocker out there as well to maybe get his playing time to be increased going forward.
Well, if you look at that play where DJ got hurt today, last year, it was because Guy Rudolph whiffed on the block completely.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why DJ got hurt last year. Kenny Galladay did not block, and Kyle Rudolph completely whiffed on the block. And Daniel Jones ended up getting his damn head tore off.
Right. But
I think Galladay is more about effort, man.
Everybody has to block.
The guy can block.
You're a prissy-ass receiver that's too good to block. Yeah. We don't need you.
It's just effort. Exactly. It's just effort, Lou. The guy can block. It's just the effort. It's the mental aspect.
He got too much money and got prissy.
Yeah, can't get right.
Yeah,
it's like when a lot of block dudes. Like when a lot of block dudes get money and go corporate. You know what I'm saying? Prime example: right. Paulie Castellano. He was handed the job as the boss. He wanted to be business corporate. All the other dudes on the block was like, "Yo, that's not who we are, son." You feel me? Get him out of here. And that's,
hey Joel,
that's the way I feel. Buddy? If you're not producing and you out here being a diva, get the hell out of here.
True that, man. I feel you on that, bro.
Let me speak to where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I wanna let Miz go on and speak.
This is a man sport.
Listen, first of all, we just put aside the obvious. Tony is an unbelievable talent, and we know he could be a game breaker in this league, one of the best. We know that. Put that aside. This guy, to me, it's like I don't feel like practicing. It's my foot. It's my this. It's my that. He never went all out in training camp. He doesn't practice all the time. We saw this last year. We saw it again this summer. And came game one. Don't sit here and tell me that they got a couple of plays of packages for this kid. This kid is the scariest weapon on the field outside of Barkley. So you can't tell me that they only got 7 plays while Kenny Galladay runs up and down the field as a non-factor or shadow. So I don't buy that shit, okay? My thing about Tony is this. He ain't living up because he plays around and he's immature. And there's a side of him. Listen, Pat, let me finish. There's a side of him everybody loves. I love his.
You never trust a guy who has a bull ring, period.
No, it ain't around none of that. I love his press conferences. He says the right things because he knows what the media is trying to do. He's not stupid. He's a very smart kid. But on the field, he's not living up to expectations. And it's because he slacks at practice. He clowns around. Maybe it's because he's young. Maybe he'll mature. I pray he matures. But you can't tell me that for the second coach 2 years in a row is not a little bit tired of him. And that's the reason why he didn't play week 1. And I think you're going to see a lot more of him this week. But that's how I feel.
But Miz, maybe
I have big expectations of him, Pat, and he's not living up so far.
That kind of defutes what you're saying. You're saying that the coaching staff might be a little bit angry, a little bit tired of him, but then you turn around and say that he's going to play more the second week. That doesn't make sense.
No, it makes sense.
That contradicts what you're saying. If I'm tired of you as a coach, I'm not going to play you more.
No, they're not sick and done with him. You got to remember, this kid is a hell of a talent. So you got to
give you a shot to prove me wrong. Yeah.
He's a hell of a talent. You're not going to just sit him down
prove me wrong. Or
like last year, Judge sat him for like 3-4 weeks. That was way too much. That was like OD. I think God will teach him a little lesson week 1, and you're going to see him play this week. And if that happens, I believe I was right. And if it don't, then I'll say I was wrong.
I think it was just Saquon's week. I think, you know what I'm saying, he was, he had been waiting patiently, and I think that this was his time. This was his week. They played a lot through him. They ran a lot of the plays, went to him or Richie James. And that could have been Wandell out there, but he got hurt in the first quarter. So, and he bobbled the ball. So, I mean, he wasn't really, you can see he had jitters. And so I think Richie James just kind of was fell into the place of it. And it was Saquon's night. Other nights are going to be other people, man. I just think I don't want to jump the gun, man, because the dude hasn't done anything really. He hasn't done anything.
I'm gonna get real for a second, because I've been playing around. But I'm gonna get real for a second. What I'm hearing, and not just from the people on this panel, from the entire Giant fan base on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere else, it's starting to feel like everybody's making excuses for Tony because we want him to succeed, we want him to be a beast, and we want him to be good. It sounds like the same way we sounded for Joe Judge. Remember, we was all like, after that press conference, and he would make mistakes, and we would be like, yeah, I think it's this, and I think it's that. I don't think it's really Joe Judge. I think it's Jason Garrett. I think it's the scheme. I think it's that. Then it all came out that Joe Judge was a main fucking and Jason Garrett and the play scheme. You know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to think and feel like maybe we're putting too much hope in this kid, and maybe he's just a fucking bust. Maybe he's just not mature. Maybe he doesn't grasp the playbook. Maybe he's more focused on his rap. I don't know what the maybe is, but maybe he's not what the fuck we need here.
What does he have?
That might be a factor.
What does he have?
Fucking play, practice.
Come on.
Listen.
You can't, if the coach doesn't put you on the field, then you can't play.
Jay, the coach ain't got nothing to do with why your ass ain't practicing, why your ass ain't at voluntary, why your ass ain't at OTAs. You know what I'm saying? That's not the coach's job. It's like once you go to college, bro, once you leave high school and you go to college, them teachers ain't hounding you down to turn in your assignments.
No, I feel you.
You do or you don't. No, you do or you don't, and you get dropped. You get fucking expelled. You're bye-bye. Same shit in football. This is a grown man sport. I don't care if you're 21, 22 coming into the NFL. At this stage in your life, you've been playing football since Pop Warner. You should know what discipline and dedication is. If you got so much shit going on outside of football that you can't focus, you can't train, you can't come to voluntaries, you ain't got fucking cleats, you ain't got this, you ain't got that, then guess what? You ain't got a fucking job. Period, bro.
Yeah, but I think we making too much. I think we making too much out of it, bro. I think
that's
the problem
same shit we said about Joe Judge, and that shit came back and bit us in the ass.
But Joe Judge didn't produce at all, or even have a glimpse like how Kadarius Tony.
But nobody knows. This is his second year. How many?
Nobody knows what the problem.
How many total yards? How many total yards does Kadarius Tony have in his second year?
When he plays and he has the ball,
how many total yards?
I don't know off the top.
I think he had like 500 last year.
I don't know off the top of my head, but what I'm saying is when he has the ball in his hands, he does something positive with it. Even when things are going bad for him, he turns it into positive.
Yes, you're 100% right.
You really want to know?
That he needs to be consistent.
Hold on, fellas. You really want to know what I think it is? You really want to know what I think it was? Remember, this guy didn't play. This guy didn't play the whole preseason, so those were his first snaps on the field in his new offense. And so maybe they didn't trust him to be out there that many plays because there was his first snaps to be out there in that offense. Maybe they're going to bring him on a little bit slower because he was injured during training camp and he didn't play any preseason games. You got to think about it. That was his first time being with this offense, period, this whole year.
It's a very complex offense at that.
So maybe it's not that they don't like him. Maybe they just have to bring him on a little slower because he has to get acclimated on the field. And maybe NYG is right. Daniel Jones doesn't have very much chemistry with the guy. And that could be a factor too. And that would be one of the main factors to get rid of the guy if Daniel Jones proves that he's the quarterback. Because if he does prove he's the quarterback, I think Tony, if he doesn't have any chemistry with him, they're going to let him go. And you can get some value for Tony. You definitely can because there's plenty of teams that will take him.
No, you don't get rid of him. I wasn't going that far. You know what I mean? I'm not getting rid of him. I didn't say all that. What I said is
basically what you're saying, that he's lackadaisical.
I'm saying
he doesn't want to learn the playbook. He has too many things outside of football. He's distracted.
Yes.
He's not productive. He's injury prone.
I didn't say that.
I mean, people on the panel just said that he's not. You just asked the question: how many yards has he put up? He hasn't put up that many yards. That's true.
He has 420, about 27 yards total. That's rushing and receiving in 2021.
No.
Forget about the close to 500.
Forget about the yards, man.
Damn.
Listen. Forget about the yards and the stats. We all know that when he catches a ball, everybody jumps out of their couch to see what he's going to do. We all know that. Check it out. Stop playing around. Get on the field during the week and play football Sunday and become the star that you could potentially become. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I could agree.
But you don't really know what it is. You don't know if it's the Giants,
but I just don't
know if it's Kadarius Tony.
I don't think we should assassinate his character off of this small.
But that's what I'm saying. Nobody knows what the problem is.
That's what I'm saying.
How can we sit up here and judge what's going on when they haven't came out and said anything? Kadarius Tony and his agents haven't came out and said anything.
He's doing great. So, he has a great
As far as we know, everything is cool.
Hold on, guys.
You think Dabo's gonna come on TV and tell you Tony's clowning around, so I'm not gonna play him this week? Come on, Dabo will never do that, man.
No, but I don't think he's gonna praise
the player. If Kadarius Tony had an issue with his playing time, he probably would have said something through an agent or something probably would have leaked out. Either way, either side could have leaked something if there was a problem. You know that's what would have happened. This is the media we talking about.
We were just saying a couple weeks ago how he's going to be the number one receiver, and that's why he was smiling at the press conference, and that's why Kenny Golladay is acting all lazy and like he doesn't want to play. So how did we go from he being the wide receiver one, and in one game where we won and he had positive yards, why are we saying that the kid doesn't want to doesn't want to play ball? He's focused on everything else. It's been.
I'm gonna say my piece about this.
Hold on, Jeff. Before you go, let me catch the chat up real quick. Tommy Tommy says, "Look at the game. Look at the plays. The effort our offense and defense have shown much improvement on many levels. Our bad plays are expected from a new put together team." That's true. He says we came back from 13 down. That's true as well. He says, "Lou, bro, we should at least give Kadarius Tony a chance."
Exactly. It's been one game.
He said,
of course we're going to give him a
Sean
chance.
Lee, thank you for tuning in, Sean Lee. Appreciate it. Ain't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well with you. You says Dave said if you prove you deserve to be out there regardless of the money you're getting, where you were drafted or who you are, you will play. I trust this coaching staff. They are competitive. True. Heavyweight champion of the world. What's going on, bro? He says, woo! 1 down and 10 more to go. My sources tell me Tony's practice time is his play time. He needs to catch up, but until then, continue to do well with I'll continue to do well with the ladies. Tell him, Pat. Tell him, NYG. Woo!
Luke, heavyweight champ. Let's
Right.
go.
Joey B, he says KT averaged 10.8 yards a catch. That's good. He says staff is looking at Robinson went down. Let's not jeopardize Tony. Simple. Does it really matter? Like Tony said, we won, bro. Looking too much into this.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, like you said, look too much in it, man. I mean, he's been fine. The coach said he's been fine. Like, there's nothing. I really don't know where this even came from.
They're
like,
right on that point too, though, Jay. They're not just gonna come out and say he's an absolute screw up. Even
no,
if he
but
is,
I don't think. But with Dayball's personality, I also don't think he's going to give him false praise and say everything is great and
right.
He's going to treat it like, oh, he's another player and he's going to move on and be short about it. He's not going to go into and make up some rhetoric
Just
about.
Honestly, now that we think
hold
about it,
hold on, guys. Jeff wanted to go. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, NYG, you finish your point first, then I'm going to talk about this because I got some stuff to say.
it just sounds like more that I think about it. It sounds like media overhype. There probably ain't nothing wrong with the relationship between Kadarius Tony and the Giants. To be honest,
they're just going to the.
He could come out next week, have 40-something snaps, get 10 targets, get 8 catches, get 120-something yards and a touchdown, and everybody will shut the hell up.
Exactly.
So we don't know, man. But go ahead, Jeff.
You want me to be honest? This is some stupid. Part of my first, just some stupid shit that's going on with this whole Kadarius Tony thing. I mean, are we really like having this discussion again about Kadarius Tony and off-season stuff and in-season stuff? Is this really becoming a topic? Did you guys in the media and everybody out there notice the snap count that was going on with all those receivers? That none of these guys were really playing a dominant amount of receiver snaps, and that's what Brian Daboll did over there in Buffalo, and he's taking it over here with the Giants. Everybody in this wide receiver core is going to play an even amount of snaps, depending on type of offensive packages that he's going to put out there, whether it's a run play, a passing play. Tony will get his. Unless Kadarius Tony is a distraction off the field, where there's been nothing about that right now. Besides, I know you guys have probably heard that thing that Jordan Renan says about earlier on that was going on in training camp, that Tony pretty much was jogging around and lackadaisical around in training camp. I don't know if that is true or not. He's going by what he saw. But the fact of the matter is, right now, Kadarius Tony is a guy that he is, like Miz said, the second best offensive talent on this team. Sure, he has some things that maybe rub some people the wrong way, but I don't understand why everybody, again, is continuing to pile up on this kid instead of, giving him a chance to go out there for the rest of the season instead of one football game to go nuts and saying this kid's a bust, he doesn't care, he just doesn't have it, anything like that. I'm not saying that Tony is going to be great. He could go out there and be like the next Jarrell Jernigan for all we know and just, come up small. But right now, we got to allow Tony to see if maybe he's still coming back from an injury, like you guys said. Maybe he's still, he's still learning the playbook a little bit. And the fact of the matter is, Daboll might want to trust some of these veteran receivers a little bit more, like a Shepard, like a Galladay, like a James, and even like Rondell Robinson, who is his guy that he handpicked, who's similar skill set that Tony. Maybe he just thinks Robinson is just a little bit better of a fit with everything he wants to run. Now, of course, he went down with an injury. Maybe he's holding him back, but let's not go crazy already with writing off Kadarius Tony after one game. And who knows, Tony could go out there this Sunday and he could be the driving force on why we end up beating the Carolina Panthers. He could go out there and catch 8 passes for almost 150 yards and catch 2 touchdowns. Let's just wait and see what's going to happen with Kadarius Tony for the rest of this season. If his snap count is still low, if he's still a guy that doesn't get the ball targeted to him, and if he's a guy that's, still averaging about 7, 8, 9 snaps a game, maybe just a little bit you could start sending off those warning bells, but still it's not that big of a concern because remember, like you guys said, he came off arthroscopic knee surgery back in April. Sometimes it takes some players a little bit longer for them to get themselves right when you're having a surgery on your knee. And he was dealing with hamstring and foot injuries during the entire training camp too. I think they're just trying to dial back his snaps, get him 100% right, and seeing what kind of packages they could put him in there to take advantage of his skill sets. Because you remember, the type of wide receiver he is, he takes those quick cuts on his legs, and it puts a lot of pressure on him. So maybe they don't want to put too many snaps on him because he could be a fragile guy with the intense amount of cuts that he puts on those ankles every time he's going back and forth when he has the ball in his hands. I just think that Daboll wants a balanced receiver set with all these guys, keep all these guys fresh because we know most of these guys are made of glass. So I think that's just the real thing he wants to do, and maybe he wants to trust these veteran guys a little bit more compared to the younger guys. What's going on, Slay? So we'll have to see what happens in week 2, but I just think right now it's an overreaction with this whole thing with Kadarius Tony.
Let me say something real quick, and then I'm going to take a break. You guys are going to have to hold me down for a second. Yes, big play, Slay. I'm taking Andrew Thomas over Trent Williams right now because the simple fact Andrew Thomas is like 8 years younger, and he's dominant. So I'm taking Andrew Thomas every time, not just a talent, but not off talent base, because I believe Trent Williams is an absolute monster, but just based off age and the way Andrew Thomas plays right now, you're taking Andrew Thomas every time. But this right here, he says the play caller only has 17 completions for 21 attempts. It shows that the limited possessions to spread with the running game, 32 attempts. I was getting ready to say that before Tommy put that in the chat. But you guys got to realize, Daniel Jones only had 21 attempts in that game. It's not like we were throwing the ball all over the field into Kadarius Tony and didn't get in there. We only had 17 attempts. And we all know Kadarius Tony is not a great run blocker. So if we have a heavy running scheme for a game, Kadarius Tony more than likely is not going to be on the field for a lot of plays. Just being honest with you.
Yep.
All right.
We only had 21 pass attempts. Think about that. That's 5 pass attempts a quarter.
Smart. That's called smart football.
So I would be a little bit more concerned if Daniel Jones had 50 pass attempts and Kenny Galladay was out there for 40 of them, looking like a traffic cone, and Tony wasn't getting out there. Well, we only had 21 pass attempts. People forget about that. And let me be real. I'm going to be one of the first ones to tell you that I was wrong. I don't think this receiving core is going to have a dominant receiver this year. I believe it's going to be by receiver by committee based off that first game. Reason why? I believe these guys know what they have in this team, and they know that Saquon Barkley is going to have to be a beast in order for us to win a lot of games this year, especially when we play against good teams. Watch when we play the Ravens. I promise you, Saquon Barkley is going to get about 25 touches in that game.
Yep.
So when you really think about it, take away. I'm not saying that anybody hates Kadarius Tony. Take away what the media says for 1 second and really think about the game plan that was really in play against the Titans. We only threw the ball 21 times, people.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's not a lot of reps for 6 to 7 receivers who are all in the same category to me. We don't have a number 1 receiver. So guess what? We have a coaching staff that's like, okay, we don't have a number 1 receiver. Well, all y'all good out there and show me who wants to play today.
Play the hot
And
hand.
Richie James showed up. Richie James was the only receiver out there besides Shepard on a couple of plays because he was really a blocking guy the whole game. Every time Shepard was in there, most of the time he was blocking. But Richie James was the only receiver out there that showed that he wanted the ball that game. And guess what? Daniel Jones was throwing it to him. Think about that. Richie James got the most pass attempts or most whatever you want to call it. Most targets. There you go. Sorry, brain dead for a second. Ash, what's going on, Ash?
Yeah,
But think about that. Richie James got the most targets in the game. And wasn't Kenny Galladay who's supposed to be the number 1 receiver? David Seals didn't even get a target. Bellinger, I don't even think got a target.
Touchdown was to the backup tight end.
Yeah, the backup, because guess what? It was part of the plan. Who the hell's thinking Chris Myers was going to get the ball?
Fact.
Who's thinking that?
Did you guys see the way the defensive line too? We were getting pressured the highest rate during the first half of that game where Daniel Jones was running for his life. And that also is a reason why we did not pass the ball a lot, because Daniel Jones didn't have the opportunity to pass a lot because Jeffrey Simmons was pretty much in the backfield a lot of that first half until the offensive line started to play a little bit better in the second half in terms of pass protection.
Right. They saw that the pass protection was ass in the first half because we gave up, I think, all 5 of those sacks in the first half. So you say, you know what? We finna run this ball. And guess what? Kadarius Tony's not a run blocker. Our best run blocker is Riggs, and that's when Riggs was on the field.
Yeah.
Riggs only got, 3 targets that game? No, he only got 2 targets. He got 2 targets, a touchdown catch and that one little catch that he got caught on the outside. So they don't believe in Riggs either?
No, they do. That was one monster catch. You know that.
His blocking was elite.
Now,
Yeah,
am I
I think
saying
it's just smart
that
game planning.
Kadarius Tony? Am I saying that Kadarius Tony doesn't have any issues? No, I'm not saying. I know he has issues, and he may have a little bit of immature issues. He may have that there, and maybe we're just not the right team for him, or they holding him back because he was injured the whole preseason and he was injured all training camp, and that was his very first time being on the field in that system. The very first time a run heavy game plan at that. So let's give it a few games. If he's still only getting 4 to 5 snaps and it's week 5, yeah, Miz, you was right, and I will eat crow.
Man,
No,
me
I'm
too.
not,
Hey,
I'm not
me
saying
too.
I'm not. It's not about me being right because I think this week he's going to play a lot. I do.
But if he's only getting 5 to 6 to 7 snaps and it's week 5, week 6, and we're winning games, then we all know there's something there, and that's something is he don't have it with us, or he just doesn't fit this scheme the way that I thought that he would fit this scheme before the season. And I'm saying this right now. I don't think we're going to have a receiver with over 50 catches this year. I think we're going to have a lot of receivers around 30, 40, 50. Maybe somebody reaches the 60 catches.
Saquon Barkley will have over 50.
Listen,
I was just to say that too. Good point.
Yeah, not
if
the
we
receivers.
if we got 4 or 5 receivers with 40 catches apiece, then that means Daniel Jones is balling out and he's distributing the ball to all his receivers. Now, if that's the case, I won't be mad that we don't have 1-star receiver with 100 catches and 1,200 yards. I won't be mad at that because if we got 4 receivers that got about 700 yards, 800 yards, shit, we balling. We the greatest show on turf.
TV Minus, thank you for tuning in,
Yo,
bro.
Who cares who has this? Yo, if we win football games, man, who cares?
That's
Not wins, not Madden.
And we won a game, and how good did we feel? You know what I'm saying? If we win a game this Sunday and go 2-0, just imagine this fan base is going to be nuts next week. And I'll take that over anything, man. I want that feeling. It's been a long time.
That first fucking win put us all on the edge of our seats, bro.
Let me answer this.
I was crazy when I said 11-6, and when I said we're gonna come out and smash Tennessee week 1. Everybody, oh, you bugging? Derrick Henry going this, Derrick Henry going that. Well, Derrick Henry ain't even get a fucking 100 yards.
He got bottled up.
Yo, let me answer this question real quick. He says y'all talking about run block and put Tony on the fucking field. He's the most skilled receiver on the team. Well, if you have a heavy run scheme and you put Tony out there on the field, you remember the play that he scored the touchdown when Shepard made the block right there and stopped the Bird from getting in there with the quickness? What if Tony is in there and he misses that block and he gets hit and then we have to kick a field goal? We lose.
Right. Yeah, no, Pat, you're right. You're right. It's packages.
Everybody, and maybe I'll take this out of context. Is maybe I'm just a person that really looks into the game. I'm a fan, but I really look into the game like I would want to be a coach for the New York Giants. I see exactly what they are doing. And maybe a lot of people just don't understand because they just want to see the electric guys on the field because they make plays. They see the Patrick Mahomes and the Tyreek Hills making all these type of plays. But that's scheme too. They just happen to be very great players.
Yep.
But if Tyreek Hill was a given effort on blocking, because I see Tyreek Hill gives effort on blocking, and the Chiefs had a heavy run scheme, I guarantee you Tyreek Hill wouldn't be on that field on a heavy run scheme. It's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Now, in regards to what you said a few minutes ago, you said don't listen to what the media is saying, block that out, and just, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know I don't listen to the media. And anybody who watches my videos know I can't stand the shit they be saying about football, let alone the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Most of them analysts ain't never suited up, never wore a helmet or pads. You know, they from a journalist background. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them just be blowing smoke, clickbait. Skip Bayless is fucking schizophrenic, in my opinion. That's fucking stupid.
Skits Bayless.
But
Max Kellerman.
My thing is with Kadarius Tony, you know, I don't know if anybody remembers this. When me and Pat were calling the draft, We drafted him, I think, 20th in the first round, right?
It was either 20th or 21st. It was 20th.
20. We traded back to 20.
Right. Because
Yeah,
we didn't get
Bears had a
Devontae
20th
Smith.
pick.
Yeah, because we didn't get Devontae Smith, which is who Judge wanted. So he went with Kadarius Tony. But if you remember, Pat, when we drafted him, I said, man, I don't know about this. The season before the draft, he had a lot of drops. Remember I said that, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, but the season leading up to the draft, he balled out. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. Now, I cheered for the kid. I made a video. It's like, yeah, we got Kadarius Tony. He got guaranteed 13 point something million and all this. I was happy, right? I still want to root for the kid. He wears that NY logo. But at the end of the day, and I don't give a fuck what the media says, I draw my own conclusions. I have my own brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm a critical thinker. I do my own thinking. But if I was the coach of the New York Giants, I want the guys who's going to show up. I don't give a damn if you got a jammed finger, you know, and you like, I want to suit up, coach. I want to at least practice. To me, that shows that you love the game and that you're all in for this team. When any little thing stops you from coming to practice repeatedly, that also shows me that you don't give a fuck about this team. You see what I'm saying? So fuck what the media says, fuck what the fan base says. I'm telling you what my eyes see. This motherfucker has not been on the field enough. Okay, granted, you've been injured. Your ass supposed to be on the sidelines while everybody else is running and doing their drills in that fucking playbook, rehabbing, doing whatever else you can to make sure that when your injury is done, you're up to speed.
How do you know he's not doing that?
Because if he was, he would have played more than 1 or 2 fucking snaps in that game, regardless of being injured all preseason. You got guys, hold up, you got guys who get injured and they live in that fucking locker room. They live in that film room. They live in that playbook so that when their body is healthy, their mind is already there. When you have an injury, you have to make sure that your mind is with the rest of the team so that when your body catches up, you're not thrown into the game and then your brain's trying to catch up with your body. That's the biggest mistake you make. So you need to keep your brain prepared with your playbook and all that other shit. So when your body catches up and be healthy again, you go out there ready to go.
No, that's true, but how do we know he's not doing that? It's been 1 game.
If he was doing that shit, bro, he would have been at OTAs. He would have been here. He would have been. You would have seen him on the sideline with a clipboard, with a tablet, with a headset, with something.
So did you see him?
No, you do know that
MIA.
You do know that he's been on the field practicing.
Man, what are you talking about?
When though? When?
What do you mean?
Right before preseason?
Hold
up.
No,
right? No.
He was out there doing OTAs, everything. When everybody else was red jerseys, he was out there too.
I will say this.
He was there for the end of voluntaries.
I will say this. It can't completely be injury because Shepard came back from 2 weeks and he was second in snaps of receiver. He played a lot during the second half.
I think it was.
He did. That is a fact. And he did. He came back from an Achilles injury.
I think his attitude.
You know why that Shepard got the most snaps? Because we ran the ball and he's our best run blocking receiver.
He's our best receiver.
Okay.
Period. I wouldn't put Tony, Wandale, Galladay, Seals, none of them above Shepard. When Shepard is healthy, he's the best fucking wide receiver we have on the New York Giants.
We only passed the ball 21 times.
I get that, bro. I get that.
And then see how did Dabo in Buffalo? Stephon Diggs didn't just get the ball every game a whole bunch of time. Gabe Davis spread it out from Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs.
No, it's a balanced attack. That is true.
I was pissed off when we had Odell Beckham and all we did was force the ball to Odell Beckham.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I hated that shit. That's not what I'm saying to do. But you have got to prove to the rest of this team, not the fan base, not me, not anybody else. You have got to prove to the rest of this team that you are all in.
Oh my gosh.
All in. When you come on Twitter talking shit about Galladay and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you've been more of a hindrance to this team than a help, in my opinion. And everybody can get mad at me and everybody can kill me in the comment section and all. I don't care. Because you know what? YouTube don't really exist. Neither does Twitter, neither does Facebook. All this shit is fake. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can come to my house and get knocked the fuck out. Period. So anybody want to kill me in the comment section, feel free to kill me in the comment section. But what I'm telling you is, in my opinion, this kid has not done enough to prove to the team, not to me, that he's all in. Because when Sterling Shepard was hurt, I saw that motherfucker doing jumping jacks with a towel on the sideline, cheering for his fucking team, running up the sideline with his players while they going to score. He running along the sideline like, come on, come on, come on. I don't see that enthusiasm from Tony. I don't see that all in from Tony. He comes to the podium like he's already the greatest receiver in the fucking NFL. He's got 4 rings. And,
Bro, y'all have
like,
this.
come on, my dude.
Y'all are putting this all on him. All this stuff that
I'm not putting nothing on him. We gotta win. He didn't cost us nothing. But what I'm telling you is he's going to cost himself a career.
He got the ball when he got
he's
the ball.
He's going to cost himself a career, sir. Mark my words.
Okay. All right.
We'll have to see what happens with Tony. He's got the opportunity this Sunday to pick up his snaps and go out there and make an impact.
All of y'all, but we can disagree and still have a decent conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's been one game.
I was just mentioning that because I know we got a lot of haters in the comment section that like to say dumb shit to try to get a rise out of us. So I was letting it be known before they even go on that little typing rant with their keyboard warrior fingers that shit don't bother me and it don't upset me. But the day you got a pair of balls to show up to my house and try to say that shit to my face, you're gonna be swallowing all these right here, all your teeth.
Lou, you could be right. You could absolutely be right when that be the case. I mean, we don't really know because we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Tony is that type of player. We don't really know until we see how the season progresses and how many snaps he gets per game. Exactly, you're right.
And I'm not too big to admit when I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here and I'll be like, I was fucking wrong. That nigga balling out. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I want him to ball out. He's a fucking giant. If he's going to help us win and contribute to us getting W's after W's after W's, fuck yeah. I don't want the kid to fail. You know what I'm saying? But you got to show us something, bro. Like, it's too much. And maybe it is. Maybe it is the media is focusing on every little thing they can to try to make them look bad. That could be the case.
I know that's the case.
Let me just say, I will benefit. The media much better for Tony to be a star over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely rooting for him. I'm not coming at it where like I hate him and I want him off the team. I did not say any of that. I do not want him off the team because he is one beast of a weapon. And he could only make this offense dynamic. So I'm hoping that he's going to come along. I hope Pat's right. I hope they're working him in. I'm hoping. Maybe I'm wrong. But I definitely rooting for him. Don't think I'm not rooting for him because when he caught the ball and cut up 3 people on Sunday, I was going nuts. So,
yep.
Miz, you play football, right? Who all on the panels play football before besides me? Okay, so yeah, Joe, you play football too.
Joe, you played football where y'all had leather helmets. That shit don't count. No, let me stop.
Actually, he got more say so than what we do because that was real football.
Joe,
we can play when hit somebody in the nuts, then draw some fucking flag. That's for sure. We played football, damn.
I played football, but not organized football.
Hey, but hear me out. Hear me out. So you're on a football team. I don't know how far you guys made it. I almost made it to college, but I didn't. So high school football was the longest I made it. I don't know if Miz. I don't know if he made it to college. Lou, I don't know. Well, I know Lou didn't make it to college, but
I played on a little like semi-pro team. I played on a semi-pro team.
Put nigga on blast like that, Pat. You ain't shit.
Hey,
what he said? Hey, let me get to my point now.
I did go to college. It was the gated community college, sir.
Oh yeah, you went to Yale. You went to Yale.
Yeah, but look,
I went to the state institution. So,
but during your high school career, let's just say your freshman year, and you're learning a brand new system. Yeah, from 9th grade to the 10th grade.
No, I'm saying I played 9th grade, and then by the end of 9th grade, I was on the bus to the state penitentiary.
Right. That's why I say you didn't make it to college. But let's say 9th grade to 10th grade. Let's say 9th grade to 10th grade. The system changed. The system changed. The system changed because you went from, or if you was that good, you went from junior varsity to varsity.
Yeah.
So from junior varsity to varsity, that's a whole different type playbook. In my case, that was a whole different type playbook, different type plays, different type speed. And a guy that I know that was an absolute beast, our receiver. Beast of a talent. And he was injured. And he didn't get to play not the warm-up game. He wasn't in practices because he was hurt and they was holding him back because he was a beast. When he got on that field the very first time, he looked like he didn't know what he was doing, even though he had that clipboard and he was studying the playbook more than anybody. Game speed is way different than just looking at the playbook and knowing the play.
Yeah.
The nuances of how to run the route and the nuances of learning how Daniel Jones is going to throw that ball is way different from holding the clipboard
it looks way
to going
different
on that field.
Yeah, X's and O's when you're actually in the game looking at the field and you're playing and things are moving. It's not like watching film. It's not like looking at a piece of paper and seeing some lines drawn on the thing. It looks all mashed up. You got to see and read.
When those bullets are flying, Miz, you know this for a fact. When those bullets are flying, it's way different from a sheet of paper, brother. I promise you it is.
That's what I'm saying. Now, I mean, I didn't go to no D1 college or anything like that. I went
I played for Alabama.
Yeah, but I played varsity my freshman year, and then went to a whole nother school that was better. My Pop Warner coach had me go over to that school. And I had to use an address. Going from those two different schools, you had to I played linebacker.
You know what the hell I meant, Slay? Shut up. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry. Reading Slay's comment about wide receivers don't carry clipboards. You know what the hell I meant.
By the way, you're getting trolled on Twitter by Slay and a couple of his little friends. I got the text from
Twitter is not a real place, and Somalian pirates don't bother me.
Right.
They're doing that spying shit, and then they're writing down the things we said on Twitter.
Oh, God.
Like that Thomas is better than Trent Williams, which nobody said that right now.
Pat, I think there's a button that needs to be pushed that's long overdue.
I tell you what they can say on Twitter. And this needs to be heard. The Giants are better than the fucking Eagles. Period.
Right.
Write that shit down, Slay. Write that shit in your notebook.
First
and
of
remember,
all, can I just say something that I didn't get to say when Slay was running his little lips in the chat?
Bye,
Slay. Your whole Eagle Nation was pounding their chest about your defense. You gave up 35 points to the Lions, my friend.
Right. 35.
Not only
35
that,
with 3 all-pro corners, remember? And Jared Goff threw a pick 6.
You said Devontae Smith was going to carve the Giants up. He couldn't even carve up the Lions.
Right.
So you're basically telling me, Pat, you're basically telling me that if there was no pick 6, the Eagles lost that game.
Right.
Yep.
Facts.
Man, Jalen Hurts don't want no smoke with Wink Martindale's defense. Stop playing. Stop playing. He don't want no smoke with Wink's defense. Jalen Hurts, stop playing.
The Eagles defense don't want the smoke that Saquon Barkley is going to be bringing in when he's running up the gut. They couldn't stop the run.
What's up, bro?
But I'm going to take a break real quick. Lou, you guys hold me down real quick.
You already know, my friend. Hey,
wait, before you go, Pat.
Bottom real quick, though. You got me all
before you go, Pat.
Right
I just wanted to say, when I played the game, there's something, you could be a talented player, even in high school as a senior. And I played in leagues after high school, not college, but men's leagues. But you could be talented, but there's one thing that makes you stand out. If you have talent and you have one thing more than you will play the game unbelievable, and that's instinct.
Yep.
Yep.
NYG knows that well. Instincts are true. And he does have instincts. You can't say that Tony doesn't have instincts. He has them.
He does.
Because if he threw that ball to David Seals, it would have been picked off.
Yeah.
Instead, he ran around all the way to the other side of the field and picked up like 8 yards.
Kadarius Tony,
and that was a great play.
To be a great wide receiver. Please don't mistake what I said earlier as saying dude's trash.
Right,
dude has the skills to be a fucking phenomenal receiver in this league.
Right.
My question is, do you want that? Is that what you're striving for? Is that what you're all in for? And if so, please show us and the team, because I'm tired of hearing the shit on Twitter. I'm tired of seeing YouTube about it. I'm tired of having these conversations about it. I would love for you to come out there and fucking ball so we can be like, yes, instead of sitting here like, I don't know what his problem is. I don't know if he's not bought into the system. I don't know if he doesn't know the playbook. I don't know if he's beefing with the coaches. All this I don't know shit is annoying. I want to know that we're going to fucking win. And I want to know that you're going to be a contributing factor to that fucking shit.
I'll say this before I go, I'll say this before I go real quick. I think it's because he's a number one pick.
That could be it.
And every time this guy doesn't get 10 catches for 100 yards, all of a sudden he's a head case. Nobody's saying he's a head case after that Dallas game where he got 10 catches for 185 yards and broke the Giants rookie record.
No, that was amazing.
When he was featured that game, and he produced. When he came in against the Falcons, he caught some major first downs. When he came in against the Saints, he caught some major good passes for us that game. When he's featured, he produced. When he's not featured, he's a non-factor because he can't bring anything as far as like blocking or anything like that. He has to learn how to do that, and that's where the dedication comes into play. I understand what people are saying. Are you dedicating yourself to be the all-around receiver that they want you to be, not just a scat back weapon that could carve up teams and you're not paying attention to him? That's the level that he's at right now. He's not at a level of a Stephon Diggs right now. Stephon Diggs could do some of the same things Tony does, but he goes out there as an absolute dog. He blocks. You put your number one corner on him, he's an absolute dog. I'm gonna beat him like a drum too.
And you know what? Let me say this because I should have stated this earlier. It could also be that his first season in the NFL, he was under fucking Joe Judge.
Right. Everybody was hurt.
Judge could have put the kibosh on this man like he did the fucking Daniel Jones, turned him into a one-read quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
He said the offensive lineman had PTSD because of him. Yeah, and look, the offensive linemen of the Patriots can't block no more for some reason. And they were the top 5 offensive line last year.
Maybe it's none of what I said, and maybe Coach Dable just has to bring his confidence back out of him and scheme him into the right position. Maybe Coach Dable just has to fix what Joe Judge damaged. That could be it.
And it's going to take more than 1 week.
I've been saying about Slayton. That's the same thing a lot of you guys been saying about Daniel Jones. The coach ruined a lot of these players. Facts. You spot on with it, Lou.
Now he's ruining the Patriots.
I mean, look at the way Slayton is looking.
Horrible. The Patriots looked fucking horrible on offense. I was like,
let me speak on Slayton real quick. Look at the way Slayton is looking. He looks like a guy that's lost his confidence. He does. Right. And maybe that's holding him back against the coaching staff because the coaching staff is not going to put somebody out there that doesn't have confidence.
They don't have trust.
Sure. The ball into the enemy's hands.
Yeah. So maybe he does need a week of action to make a couple of catches and be like, okay, I'm still the 5th round pick that overproduced when he got in here, even with Joe Judge in there.
Yeah, because we don't need another Ingram. Lord have mercy.
You know what I'm saying? So Slayton didn't even make the trip. You see, he didn't even make the 47.
Just stay home, son. You ain't even suiting up today.
And we know Slayton is better than a lot of these guys.
Why didn't make better than Sills for a fact?
Why didn't make the trip?
Any of these crackheads say Sills can't touch.
For some reason,
facts.
Sills made it over him, and I told people those training camp Hulk Hogan's ain't gonna do shit when it comes to real bullets flying. You can beat up on preseason guys like Miz, call them truck drivers and milkmen all day. But when you go out there and you face with number 1 talent out there, he didn't do shit.
Yep.
He didn't even get a target. And people want to bash Slayton about drops. Seals' only target last year, he dropped.
Milkman.
See, I don't even agree with that. I think Slayton should be in there, not Seals. But that's just
do you believe that Slayton could take the top off these defenses and open up everything underneath for people like Tony and them?
He's done
Seals can't do that.
No.
Can't nobody else
can't do that. Shepard can't do. He got a 65-yard catch,
because homeboy
Fulton was dumb. Fulton was looking at Saquon Barkley.
Now I agree with you 100%, Eric Johnson. That is my biggest pet peeve. That tall $72 million earning bum.
But he blocks, like Pat said, he blocks.
He didn't block last year. He about got Daniel Jones' head tore off.
That was one
He's
game, but
capable of blocking. Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
they
he's
could
very
block in
capable
one
of blocking.
game.
That's why they
But
got
I
him out.
don't pay a blocker $72 million, so that's why he
Exactly.
gets the vitriol that he gets, and it's well earned. You're getting $72 million, even though that's a discount on what the receivers are getting now. Because he's only making $18 million. Those receivers out there making 30.
Well, catch the ball, you'll get 30. Get open, you'll get 30.
Nah, that contract that he got from us is his last big contract. I promise you
Right.
that.
He's done.
Yeah, he's
Get
done.
your ass out of here.
He's done.
But that's why I say
He looks like
don't-
Allen Robinson of the Rams right now.
Right.
don't be shocked by mid-season. Galladay's on the bench. Don't be shocked.
Bullshit. Hot bullshit in a
But I'll
skillet.
be right back, fellas. But
All right.
yeah, I think Galladay is going to be pretty much done. I give him to about week 5. If he's still only getting like one catch a game, he's done. Promise you.
Let's switch gears because I gotta hold it down for Pat while he take a break, and I don't want this conversation to keep being a debate. So, Joe, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that if we go running back by committee, Matt Breida can put up about 70 yards running against the Panthers? If Saquon Barkley puts up about 90, 100 yards, do you think Breida can put about 70, 75 yards up, and then Williams or Brightwell can put up another 30 or 40? Do you think we can have a 200-plus rushing game against the Panthers?
No. I think that they're going to shut down the run.
Really?
The pass, but the pass is wide open. And here's where Daniel Jones has got to pay his due. Now, you know, I've loved Daniel Jones since we first got him. I always felt he got the raw end of the deal. Now he's giving the team, he's giving the directions. He's the guy. He's the guy that represents the Giants right now. Yeah, the defense, outstanding performance. Outstanding. But when all's said and done, you're looking at Daniel Jones. And now, this week, week 2, they're going to have the running game shut down, but the passing game is going to be wide open. You got to learn how to move the ball down the field in this passing offense. He learns that. He picks it up. We're good to go. He does it. We're okay. We're at 9 and 8, 10 is 7. But listen, if he can learn it,
We're going 11-6, fellas.
Yeah.
11-6. Yeah.
Jay Lay.
Whoa.
Oh, please turn your camera on for a second. Now, I fucks with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why. Aside from all this football shit,
What?
when I said I'm going to punch a motherfucker in the mouth, you cut in my door and get knocked out, Jay was ready to go. Jay was like, wait a minute, what? I fuck with you, my G. Real shit. Because a lot of motherfuckers would just be like, oh shit, there go Lou again going crazy. Yeah. Jay was like, hold up, knock out who, nigga? What? Hold up, nigga. I fuck with you, bro. I'm the same type of nigga.
For real, I actually agree with Joel. I think that the Panthers are gonna. I think the Panthers are going to do everything they can to load up the box and stop that run, and they're going to make Daniel Jones and those wide receivers beat them over the middle or over the top. And I definitely see Slayton be active this game, and I definitely see the ball going to Galladay and Tony a lot more in this game to get them going. I think they're going to try to make an effort to get Galladay and Tony going a lot more than they did in that first week. So don't be surprised if they're the primary targets. And I agree. I think that the Panthers' game plan is going to do everything they can to slow down Barkley, and then you're going to start seeing Dable put Barkley out wide in the slot, even throw him out there on a wheel route, and they're going to try to have Daniel Jones be the guy to probably try to go out there and beat them and test out those cornerbacks and their secondary of the Carolina Panthers. So it's going to be more on Daniel Jones in this second week.
I think the key to the game actually is the defense.
How did Cleveland beat Carolina?
Game plan, like things change though week to week.
They shut Carolina down, and they pass rush, and they got Baker Mayfield uncomfortable in the pocket.
But okay,
no. The Browns ran on them. The Browns ran on them.
They ran on them.
So
offensively, yeah, they ran on them.
Beautiful. Let's see it again.
But I think I agree with these guys. Like, I think Carolina is going to focus on trying to stop Barkley this week. They saw the way we ran last week. So I do think Jones is going to have to throw, a bunch more than last week. Oh, yeah. But I did want to say that I believe we're going to need to score more this week. That's why Tony got to be involved more. I think it's going to take 27, 28 points to win this game.
Okay. But the reason I asked you, Jeff, was how did they beat them? Was for that specific reason that Miz just said. They ran on them. Now, knowing that they got ran all over by the Cleveland Browns, and knowing that Saquon Barkley had the game that he had against the Titans, I agree that they're going to attempt to shut down the run. But I think that Dable and them already have a game plan. And what they showed me at halftime of last week was that they're able to make adjustments in game, which is something that the Giants have not done for quite a few years now.
Yep.
So even if they come out and try to load the box and stop Barkley, I think we'll make an adjustment and we'll start using him in the screen game and in the passing game, and they still will not be able to shut him down. And then they'll get frustrated, and then we'll kill him with the run straight up the middle. I don't think it's going to be that much of a passing game. I do think that we're going to have more than 21 pass attempts. I would say maybe 30, but I think it's going to be even. I think we'll see about maybe 29 rushes and about 31 pass attempts.
I could see that, and I think a lot of it will have to do with how the New York Giants offensive line is able to pass protect in this game compared to how they did in the Titans game. They got better in the second half, but majority of that time, Daniel Jones was under duress a lot in that first half, so he wasn't able to get the ball out to his wide receivers as consistently as he was before. So if that offensive line can be able to handle the blitz of the Panthers or that pass rush, the front four, then you're going to see Daniel Jones be able to look for those one-on-one matchups either on the outside or in the slot. And
hey,
even
Nimmer,
if you want to put out –
Nimmer, can you mute your mic for a second?
Thank you, Nimmer. But you're going to be able to see the Giants, if that offensive line can pass protect a little bit more, you're going to see Daniel Jones be able to scan the field and be able to see who has that one-on-one matchup that they could exploit. And even if you want to send a Barkley out of the backfield on a wheel route, if you want to have some blockers in front of him, try to take advantage of that, maybe throw him in on a slant. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things they're going to be doing with this passing game, but I think a lot of it is going to have to do with how that offensive line is going to be able to pass protect against this Carolina Panthers pass rush, and even if they send some blitzes off the edge. If they're able to do that, this passing game will be more effective, and you will see Daniel Jones be able to throw the ball a little bit more.
Hey, 41 people watching and only 35 likes. Let's hit that thumbs up button, fellas. Come on, man. Don't do us dirty like that.
Come on, 40. Yeah. No, just like that.
Hold up, let me catch up some of this chat for Pat. Eric Johnson says there are a lot of good wide receivers coming out in the 2023 NFL draft. Tommy says our linebackers and D-line need to not be hesitant with the blitz or pass coverage. They need to commit and stop being in no man's land. Our top edges back will allow us to rush for and get coverage sacks easy. They will allow us to rush for. Okay, got you. That's what I was saying earlier. When we won our Super Bowls in 2007 and 2011, we generated a pass rush with just our front four. When you had Tuck and Umanura and Pierre-Paul and them guys and Kiwanuka and I mean, you had four guys at all times that can create a pass rush without sending a blitz, without sending a fifth or sixth guy. And when you can do that with your front four, then you create a freaking problem. So if our front four can develop, Leo, Dex, Aziz and Thibodeau can create pressure and get sacks and push quarterbacks off their mark, this defense is going to be phenomenal. And as everybody knows, you've heard it before, defense wins championships, which is why I'm so hell-bent on this 11-6. Once we got Thibodeau in the draft, and I saw what Aziz did with Joe Judge's whack-ass scheme, he got 8 sacks in his rookie year under that horrible regime. That let me know our defense was going to be lights out. And if Leo Williams came back and played like he's been doing, it was going to be a problem. And now you add Wink Martindale to that, and you bring in a guy like Jihad Ward, and you bring in a guy like Roche, and hopefully Ellison Smith gets healthy, and a few of these other linebackers that you brought in, you might actually be looking at a star-studded defense. No, not might. You are looking at a star-studded defense. And we're going to bust a lot of heads this year. Oh, Pat's back. Go ahead.
I got a quick question real quick for everybody.
Go ahead.
Who do you think right now? We all know what happened with Aaron Robinson, the fact that he's going to be out for a couple of weeks to do the appendix surgery. Who do you think they're going to throw out there at that opposite cornerback spot of Adoree Jackson? You think they're going to give the rookie Flott a shot, or maybe bring up a guy like Foster Morneau?
Joe said no.
Yeah, what's up, Tony? That was good stuff you put on Twitter today.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, NYG.
Nah, I said I don't think it matter. For real. I don't think it matter who they put out there, because I think this pass rush is going to dominate the Panthers' offensive line. Now, look, we complain about our offensive line. The Panthers' offensive line was just as egregious last season. And they haven't got better. I think our offensive line obviously has gotten a lot better, but the Panthers' offensive line hasn't gotten better. And you got Baker Mayfield back there, an indecisive quarterback that is basically a short quarterback. And what you want to do is you want to push the pocket and get your hands up and get in those passing lanes and bat those balls down. Pause. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do against Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? So
I wanna not to cut you off, NYG, but I want to say this about Baker Mayfield. I do.
I'm gonna say one sentence and I'm gonna shut up.
I know you're gonna say so.
I'm gonna tell you why the Panthers are gonna lose, and we can throw out the X's and O's and all that shit. When Baker Mayfield came out and said that he's gonna carve up the Giants easy, he killed himself. Yeah. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah.
The thing about Baker Mayfield, and I'm gonna show this on Friday, when he gets pressure, he always moves to his right.
Yeah.
He always scrambles to his right, and he bails out way faster than he's supposed to, and he calls.
Oh, he's Derek Zoolander.
Very predictable.
He's Derek Zoolander. He can't turn left. He's only got one look.
He always bails out to his right. So what we have to do is not let them get any of those breakdown plays like Bridgewater got against us last year when he was getting out the pocket and he was making those little outstanding plays. If we stop those plays, we stop the Panthers. I wasn't afraid of Derrick Henry. I wasn't afraid of Derrick Henry, so I'm not going to be afraid of Christian McCaffrey. The only way Christian McCaffrey carves us up is if he gets those wheel routes out the backfield, like the little dude with the Titans was getting. So we have to watch that. Tate Crowder has to be more disciplined in his pass coverage. So does Calitro. Now, he can't hurt us in that way.
That's what I was going to say. This last week, Tate Crowder kind of stepped up and held down Derrick Henry. This week it's going to be on Calitro to, utilize his coverage skills to make sure that shit over the middle doesn't get there and those wheel routes, get picked up on. You can at least fucking bump them, do something, push them, pull them, do something.
But what you can do, though, is you could put a safety in there to cover that back. You could put a guy like Julian Love or even...
No, I think they're going to put Dane Belton out there on them.
Belton, I was going to say, you could put Belton out there.
Lord,
and you don't need to you're not going to put a Calitro or a Tate Crowder. They can't cover no running back. Christian McCaffrey, hell no, they can't cover that guy. That.
Way too fast for them.
Yeah. Exactly. So you got to put a safety out there on him, and Pat said it right?
We got to
And
watch out
Belton.
for that screen game because they're going to run a bunch of screens against us because they're going to feel that we're going to be blitzing most of the time. So we got to watch out for those screen game as well with Chris McCaffrey and as well as the quick screen with DJ Moore and those guys, those quick bubble screens.
Yeah.
I believe they're going to run a lot of bubble screens against us because they're going to want to see if our DBs can tackle. So if our DBs tackle this game very well, I think we get I ain't gonna say a very easy win, but it ain't gonna be hard. I'll tell you that. If our DBs tackle, it ain't gonna be hard.
We got Adoree Jackson out there. I mean, Aaron Robinson was a big loss. I know a lot of people was down on Aaron Robinson, but what I seen from Aaron Robinson on tape, game 1, he wasn't bad. The guy, he played pretty well.
No, Aaron Robinson's a good cornerback, man. Right. If you watch him in college, what was it? He was shutting down Kadarius Tony.
Facts. So now when you look at that, that's a big loss. But you do have a veteran like Julian Love. You can slide Tony Jefferson in there if need be, and you getting Dane Belton back. These guys are interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? They can play corner.
Our 4th round pick?
Third round, I believe.
Safety he was 4th round pick.
4th round, yeah. Izudu was 3rd. That's right. He was 4th round. But yeah,
we called the draft. We called the draft live, son. My mind ain't gone.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coach Ed, man, my co-host, man. It says 30-10 Giants, man. I got it 35-21. That's how I see it, fellas. 35-21. We made the predictions last night on my show. 35-21, man.
I definitely believe we will beat the Panthers, but I will say this. I believe they're going to make DJ beat them. I believe they're going to stack that box, and they're going to say, hey, look, Saquon Barkley, he's going to get his touches, but he ain't going to do what he did against the Titans week 1 because I believe the Titans underestimated us, and they got beat for it. To be honest with you, when they came into that game.
They can figure out left guard.
Us when he came out his mouth and fixed his little funky looking lips up to say, I'm going to carve the Giants up easy.
He said that playing for the Panthers, or he said that years ago?
Playing for the Panthers. He said that the other day. They asked him. Yes, they asked him, what do you think is going to happen when y'all play the Giants? He said, I'm going to carve the Giants up easy.
Hey.
Man, that man done fucked up, bro.
You know you done fucked up, bro.
I don't care about nothing else. When he said that shit, he put a target on his ass.
Oh, wow.
Every one of our defensive players is going to be gunning for that month. I'm telling you. And our DBs is
nice if we got one of these defensive ends back. That would be nice, but I don't think it's happening.
I think one of them is going to play this week. I think Ojulari is going to come back this week.
I don't put them out there. I don't put them out there if they're not healthy. I'll wait for them to get some good.
Yeah,
I'll wait for them to get some good reps against that Dallas O-line. To be honest, I'll wait for them to get some good reps against those guys. Terrence Steele and old ass dude from the Eat Peters.
Coach, you all right with me, Coach? Coach said 30-10. Well, I got newfound respect for you, Coach. You
I got it 27-24 Giants.
Right, Alex. Our fifth edge beat up on Equano in college.
Shout out to O'Shea Zimenez, though.
I got a question.
Right.
That dude played pretty well, man, and he been getting a lot of BS in the media as well. So let's give this guy credit, man. We all
beat out O'Shea
for the players. Let's shout out to O'Shea. He's got his name back, O'Shea, not O'Shane.
Yeah. Oh, I thought
he's O'Shea again.
And
shout out to that.
You see on the sideline,
him.
And you see on the sideline that there's definitely a relationship there between him and Coach Dabo. You could see.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. They like O'Shea Zimenez. That's why I think they don't bring those two back. I believe they have confidence O'Shea Zimenez and Jihad Ward, and I do too. To be honest with you,
he's more mobile than Roche. I give him that. He's faster.
You might see more Roche
not as heavy.
I think they blitz more this week. I think that's how they get pressure on Mayfield. They didn't blitz this because Tannehill. Yeah, Tannehill
shot himself with his mouth, bro. I'm telling you.
Right. I think Tannehill was able to pick up those blitzes.
Yeah.
Smart team. I think Baker Mayfield, I think they just gonna blitz the hell out this dude. Wink Martindale knows him from his days with Baltimore when he was in Cleveland. I think Baker Mayfield's gonna have a problem come Sunday. I'm telling you, because they know him and they're going to blitz, blitz, blitz. And like we all say, if you don't get there, get your hands up, get in the passing lanes, and you get those tip balls, pause, then you can definitely cause some havoc on a line like Carolina and in a quarterback like Baker Mayfield. Remember, Baker Mayfield is still learning Carolina's system. He's a new quarterback there. So I'm just saying, man, I don't see a pathway for Carolina to beat us Sunday. And that's crazy to talk confident like that, but I'm that confident in this Giants team. It's a different squad, y'all. But go ahead.
I'm just looking forward to see what Daniel Jones does against the Panthers because they're going to force him to beat them. I promise you they are. If you're a smart,
I think he can do it.
I think he can do it too.
I think he can too.
I think what they're going to do is defense. This year.
The defense is going to put him in good positions with how they're going to play against Baker Mayfield. You got to think if Daniel Jones is getting field position around the 40, the 45, he's going to put up points. I mean, Daniel Jones is not a bum.
Nicely.
Right. So
no, I'm trying to figure out what TD Midas said. Talk to me nice. Who's not being nice to you, sir?
Or, no, that's just a saying.
Okay.
I think this kid. Week in and week out. I think you're going to see this kid James put up numbers week in and week out.
Yeah, I believe.
So.
I believe
they're going to feature him though every week.
Man, I believe Richie James. I believe Richie James has earned his playing time, and I believe he's the only receiver out there that looks like he knows what the hell is going on in the first game. I believe they are going to give him the ball a little bit more.
Yep. He's the guy who's willing. He's willing to go over the middle all game long. He's going to get the ball.
Champ Life Boxing, what's going on, brother? Yeah,
by the way, I got a question.
Go ahead, Miz.
I got a question. I brought it up this morning because I was doing my morning run, and this is what I think about. I'm pathetic. I think about the Giants, but this is what came to my mind, and I had brought it up to Adam. But do you think there's a chance that the Giants bring back Blake Martinez in the next week or two? I think after Monday, you're allowed to sign players to unguaranteed contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he wanted out. It was a mutual thing. So do you think he's willing to come back here?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do we know if they didn't have an under-the-table understanding? Because Martinez never spoke to the media after he left. He just disappeared. So do you think, because I'm thinking in my head, maybe there's an understanding, because I think another team would have picked him up already.
I hope so. Shit.
So but let me ask y'all this: what's the benefit in bringing back Blake Martinez
for this year? He's a veteran linebacker. He's a tackle machine.
Can he cover? That's what they need right now. They didn't have a problem with tackling from the linebackers. They had a problem with coverage from the linebackers. So can Blake Martinez cover?
No, he's a line of scrimmage guy.
Right. So that's why he was let go, because those guys can do exactly what Blake Martinez can do at this point in his career. And I like Blake Martinez, man. I really do. But
that bag was going to be too much, and we can pay these young guys way less and get the same production, if not more, at the end of the day.
He wouldn't have been done no better out there against that Hilliard dude, man. He would have got burnt too. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh, it would have been toast.
Right. So they need somebody that can cover. That's what the Giants
need. Midas, touchdown Midas. He says, hell no, Saquon breaks 100 still. Tell him, son. We ain't with that shit.
No, I think he was asking does Saquon break 100 still.
Yes. We ain't with that shit. The Carolina
I
Kittens
think
ain't
all
shutting down
purpose. I
shit.
think all purpose yards he can break 100, but running for another 100 yards. If they allow Saquon Barkley to run for another 100 yards, they suck.
Yeah,
What, this week?
Listen, bro, I
Why-
live
why-
here. Hold
I
on.
think he can
Hey,
though.
Hey, I fucking live here. I'm telling you, these guys are fucking losers. Saquon gonna get about 150 against these motherfuckers, man.
I mean,
I
I
live
don't,
in
I don't
North
see.
Carolina, bro. These fucking team is trash.
That's messed
I
up.
don't care how trash you are.
Yeah,
Giants
man.
gonna
Put
get
eight.
100.
If you put eight, if you put eight in the
about
box,
150 yards on them niggas. I promise
if you put 8 in the box, it's not really good to run against 8 in the
I
box.
don't think
Consistently.
Saquon
Well,
is gonna
listen,
do
if
that.
you gonna count his screen passes and all that shit as his runs, yes, he's gonna get
That
100 yards.
that I agree.
That's why I said all purpose.
That's what he's
Yeah,
gonna
but
get his
100 yards
yardage
rushing,
at.
they'd be stupid to let him get 100
Rushing,
yards
they ain't
rushing.
gonna allow that.
Unless
Yeah,
he,
because
unless he breaks off the
run for
usual.
100.
We gonna
He
bust
could,
that
he could
ass.
run for 100 because you know how Barkley is. All it takes is one 70-yard break, and we saw
That's
two of
it.
them last week.
He could have 8 attempts for 30 yards and then break
Yeah.
one for 70. So
Yeah,
God
that's
bless him.
100.
I agree with you guys there, Miz and Lou. That is possible because he
Well,
could have just one run and get his 100 pretty much.
Yeah,
Right.
Get half
but
of his
if they
100.
let him consistently run the ball for like 16 carries for like 150 yards, they some dummies.
Nah, I don't know about that. It might be
They some
like 10
absolute
carries
dummies.
for like. It might be like 15 carries for 110, something like that.
I'll say if I was the owner of the Panthers and Saquon Barkley gets 170 yards rushing, you're fired. You know what they're coming to do.
You know what's gonna be my hot take? Y'all pay attention, people. Remember how I said after this injury, Saquon Barkley might not cut and juke no more. He might just decide to run straight towards you and lower his shoulder. And once he figures out that he's good at that, it might be even more of a problem for teams to stop him. I think now he's gonna flip flop. He's gonna play certain teams that Barry Sanders cut and juke style, and then certain teams he's gonna play. I'm gonna run you the fuck over. And
I
once
think he flip flops in the game.
Once he
did it last week.
I'm
Right,
telling
right.
you, bro, is
He
You
did
remember
both
what he
last
did?
week.
You remember what he
11
did?
and
You remember
6,
what he
bro.
did to that safety? That it was
Yes.
1-on-1 out there, and he couldn't juke him out. He
Yes.
just lowered his shoulder and ran through. I was like,
Yeah, that
damn,
was beautiful.
Saquon.
That was
He must be
beautiful.
really pissed. He was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna run through you. He did that on a couple of runs.
You didn't hear him on the interview cursing?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
he
was
did
the
the
first
same
time
thing
I
with
ever heard him
the
curse too.
he did the same thing with the 2-point conversion. He had to put his shoulder down and carry two people in.
Yeah. Although
But-
he used the juke right there, and then he used the power when he had to. I think if he does that consistently, he's the best back in the league.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no question. Best back in the league.
I agree.
And if we
Oh,
keep
yeah.
run blocking the way we run blocking, because sometimes the Titans did have a lot of people up there. That 70-yard run or 65 or whatever it was, they had people in the box.
That was a crowded box.
It was just that pulling guard, Glowinski and Azudu bowled through some people, and Andrew Thomas handled his on there, and that dude just wasn't fast enough to catch him to the edge, and there he goes. So yeah, I can see him getting 100 yards, but I'm still
And
fine.
he looks faster, man. He looks faster. I don't know how.
Nah, he looked faster his rookie year, bro.
Nah, he looks faster this year, I think.
Nah.
His
His rookie year, he'd have never got ran out of bounds on that play. He'd have
And
ran
that's
all the way to the
crazy
house.
because this is a Saquon Barkley
No.
who's probably lost a little bit of a step because of those
Right.
injuries, and he's
'Cause
still
was
fast
hurdling.
as hell.
He was hurdling people while they were still standing upright, sir.
But I
His
think,
first season.
but I think,
Yeah, but I'm saying I think he looks faster. I'm
Well,
gonna
he'll
say
get
that
that
he
step
might
back.
not be faster, but he looks faster.
Go ahead, Miz, before I say anything.
all I'm saying is his
just
first
means your
game. So I
vision's
think
getting
as the
slower.
season
You're
goes
getting-
on, he
you're
will
getting
get
older,
that step back.
NYG22.
He will gain his speed as the season goes. It's his first game because he didn't really play in preseason. So
I think that
You
it
heard me,
might.
NYG?
What?
I said, did you hear me?
Nah, what you say?
I said that just means your vision is getting slower. You're getting older in YG22.
Man.
No, but he might look a little faster. Right now, it's because he's running more straightforward this year.
Right. I think that probably.
And he's like a bullet. If that dude, if you give this man block and he has some of those Mack truck holes that he had last week, he's gonna shoot through that like a bullet. So a normal running back will get about 12 yards on that play. He's getting 50 because he's shooting out there so fast that he's outrunning people with angles. So he may look a little faster because he's getting to his point way quicker. Like he's not stuttering and then trying to hit it. No, he's hitting it like, oh, I got a hole now. Pause. And he's hitting straight through the hole. So yeah, he might look a little faster when it comes to the line of scrimmage, and which makes him even much more dangerous because once he gets past the linebackers, them damn DBs finna piss themselves. I gotta chase this fast ass, strong ass dude, and I don't know if he gonna run me over or juke me. I'm telling you.
So big question to y'all. Post y'all a question real quick. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate you having me on. Do you re-sign Saquon Barkley? And if you do, what's the contract look like?
Well, if he continues to have the season that he has, you have no choice but to re-sign him. You're going to make him the highest paid running back in the league. So he's probably going to get around between 18 to 20 million a year. And I know that for a fact. He's going to get between 18 to 20 million a year because if Christian McCaffrey got 16, he's definitely going to get at least 2 to 3 million more to the next running back. And that is before Henry signs. Now, if Henry balls out and the Titans fuck around and give him 21 million a year, Saquon Barkley is going to ask for a little bit more than that, especially if we have a better season than the Titans.
I don't think he's going to get it, Pat.
Who?
Joe?
Yeah.
Barkley's not going to get that money from this GM. He's going to tag him.
Crazy as hell.
Oh, shit.
He's going to tag him. You'll see. He's going to tag him.
Crazy? No, they're going to give him his contract.
I
promise you they're going to give him his contract.
I don't think Joe Shane is cheap. I just think he wants you to earn it. And if Barkley balls out, he'll pay him.
If that man gets over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, which he is projected to get based off this first game, and if he continues to do that throughout this whole season, you have no choice but to give that man a contract. Because Dabo said it before. He's never had a running back like that. That's a weapon that they've never had.
I love the kid, so I hope so. But I just think
he can do what that McKenzie. He can do what that McKenzie did for them in the passing game and still be the best runner in the league. You have to pay him.
Okay.
Let me ask you something real quick, Miz.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, G.
Okay. Look. Okay. Now, all jokes aside from Sterling Shepard and Saquon Barkley, who the fuck do we have on offense that's a proven player?
Nobody. Andrew
so
Thomas.
You can't get rid. I'm talking about skill players, not linemen.
Oh.
But as far as your skill players, your wide receivers, your running backs, your guys who score, aside from Barkley and Shepard, you got nobody. And if you look at the end of the game, who was Dabo hugging? Shepard and Barkley. They're the heart and soul of this offense. You cannot get rid of them unless everybody else balls out around them on the offense. Then maybe you can do some crazy shit like that. But until the rest of these guys level up and even play on a similar level, your only weapons are Barkley and Shep. You can't afford to let them walk.
TD might have said, Richie
right.
James.
And I'm gonna say this real quick. To your point, G, like you can't set that type of tone in your organization by allowing players that play well for you to just walk when you got the money to re-sign them. Now, point number 2 is if Barkley balls out, Jones plays decent, who you picking? If I'm the way it looked to me,
if Barkley balls out and Jones plays decent,
they're gonna go Barkley. They're going to re-sign Saquon Barkley.
You got to. You got to
They
listen.
gotta sound Barkley.
Barkley's lackluster has been due to injury. Jones's
can't let both of
lackluster
them walk,
has
though.
been due to
That's my
decision
point.
and bad play and bad coaching.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm gonna take the guy who's had injuries as opposed to bad decisions and bad coaching.
And plus, they're going to use Galladay's money to sign Barkley.
I know that's right.
Right, all of
Get
it.
rid of that bum.
give it all to him.
Squidward looking ass.
I got a hot take. I've been quiet for a little bit, but I'm gonna put my hot take out here.
Thought I heard
for
you
guys.
Jeff.
Here you go. Saquon Barkley and Sterling Shepard are going to be lifelong Giants. Book it.
Let's go.
Neither one of those two
I
guys
wouldn't
are
mind
going
that.
anywhere. They're going to be New York Giants for the rest of their careers. Because like Lou just said, you don't take away the heart and soul of this team. And Brian Daboll, Joe Shane, they know who the heart and soul of this team is. It's Saquon Barkley and it's Sterling Shepard. And you cannot let those two guys go away if they stay healthy. They have to stay here. They have to be part of those teams. Those are the guys that those players look at when you want to get fired up, when you want to get tense in that locker room, when you want to get intense on the field, when you're looking for a key play. You look for those guys. They're going to get you energized, going to get you pumped up, going to get you ready. I even saw some pictures online. Saquon Barkley's going face-to-face, and I see Sterling Shepard flipping off the bird at the Tennessee Titans sideline. I love that shit. Those are the guys I want on my team. Dogs. And that's what those guys are. And the only questions we've always had with the two of them specifically is injuries. When they're healthy and on that field, you're going to get 100% effort. Barkley's going to be one of those best running backs in the league, maybe the best. All-around dual threat. And Sterling Shepard is going to be that guy that he's going to give it his all on that field. And that's the reason why this fan base, and that's the reason why we all love those guys, and that's the reason why we want to see those guys succeed and stay on this team long term. Because they're dogs, because they're leaders, and because those are the guys that fight and pretty much go and do everything for this team. And I think the coaching staff in the front office sees that, and those two guys specifically, and hopefully Daniel Jones as well. Go ahead.
Not only that, you never hear them at the podium being disrespectful, being classless, being uncouth. You know what I mean? Even when the media asks them stupid questions and digs at them and tries to, get a rise out of them, they always handle it articulately, intelligently. You know what I'm saying? They take it on the chin and they hit you back with a suave answer. You know what I'm saying? So, they represent the franchise with couth, with class. They boost the morale of this team. They cheer for their players. They coach up the other players. They're just all-around team guys that you want in your locker room. And at the end of the day, they are the main building blocks for this team to have sustained success moving forward.
What's up, Poet? But that's true. If Shep doesn't get hurt again this year, I definitely resign him next year. And he was signed for a team-friendly contract, probably giving him around $10 million a year, $10, $12 million a year, because that's what his market would be, especially if he's not producing big numbers. But I'll give Shep $10 to $12 million to be on this team because he's going to get everybody else hyped up. And if we do get that beast of a receiver, Shep is going to be the main guy to make him go to the next level. Because Shep is going to get him hyped, and Shep is going to teach him the game, and he's going to go out there and be a beast. So, yeah, I definitely need Shep on this team if we get a number one receiver as a rookie.
And I agree because Shep was one of the main reasons OBJ had success here.
Yep.
That's right. It pisses me off when everybody dogs that guy because of injuries. I mean, the guy just goes out there and gives his effort all the time on the field for his size. He throws his body around. He goes over the middle. He can go deep sometimes. The dude is the type of receiver you want on your team. I said it before when we drafted him in the first couple of years. We got ourselves our Hines Ward because that's exactly the type of player Sterling Shepard is. He's a Hines Ward type player.
Yep.
He'll throw himself out there and he will block. He will get in your face. He will talk shit. He will catch that ball over the middle. That's the kind of player you want on your team. And it sucks that he's been hurt so much. But there's a reason why this guy's been here for this long, because he's freaking loved in that organization. And I would not doubt in a mind that if he has the opportunity, if they ask him and want to give him a contract to stay here next year, he'll take it. Because I think at this point in his career, he wants to stay here. He wants to be a Giant for the rest of his career because he loves this damn organization. I say the same thing about Barkley.
This is what kills me about this organization. For a while, I wanted to strangle the shit out of Mara. If you think back, at one point, the New York Giants had Victor Cruz, Sterling Shepard, and Odell Beckham, all on the same fucking receiving corps, and Eli Manning at quarterback. If Jerry Reese and Mara could have got their heads out of their fucking asses and drafted some linemen, the New York Giants would have got another ring, man. And them three dudes that I just named would have had one. You know what I'm saying?
But they got hurt. Remember, Cruz got hurt as soon as Beckham got here.
Yeah, true.
Cruz got hurt soon, and he got a major injury when Beckham.
But he also came back while Shep and OBJ was still here.
Yeah, but
and
we wasn't the same dude.
And we didn't have no offensive line. No, McAdoo specifically told Eli not to throw to him. They didn't want to renew his contract. Victor Cruz came out and said it in an interview. McAdoo wanted him gone.
He played Roger Lewis instead. That's why Roger Lewis during that season saw more snaps.
Yeah, McAdoo was a fucking idiot, bro.
But that's who we playing this weekend. So F McAdoo.
Yeah, he is the coordinator there, ain't he?
Fuck him. Fuck Baker Mayfield. We about to go over there and stomp that ass.
Right. Let's go.
I'm sorry. No. They coming over here to get their ass stomped. They coming to our house. They coming to New York Giants Stadium. Yeah.
So we can send their asses up the turnpike.
We got like four home games in a row, don't we?
Right back down 95, son.
Yeah.
Well, one of them, I think one of them is in London.
Oh,
one of them is in London, so they count that as a
Packers game.
That's
the Packers game.
Packers they don't look good either.
Hey, we fuck around and beat Carolina, and then we beat Dallas. We got the Bears and the Packers right after that. If this team jails, I'm not going to go all the way forward. But, man, if we go 5-0, man, this damn fan base going to be rocking. 5-0, we're the Giants. And then we're going to get a wake-up call against the Ravens. We'll see exactly what we'll do against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
5-0, you're going to get a missed video from jail.
Right.
It's gonna be Miz at the stadium getting handcuffs. Get the fuck off me.
Right.
Today, a Giants fan was beating up.
Why does he keep saying Riggs? Riggs.
Oh, I love Shepard on last Sunday. I loved Shepard. I love the leadership. I loved it. The way he was hyping people. I love that.
I love it. He was flipping off the sideline on the Titans. That was funny. Puts his middle finger up to them. I just started laughing my ass off when he does that.
No, he bleeds for the team. You can see.
Yeah, he does. He loves this shit, man. When I say he loves the game, that dude loves the game, man. Yeah, you don't get too many players that have that much passion for the game.
That's what he
Barkley's
loves,
another one.
That is true, TD Minus. That dude is known to turn it around. And be honest with you, he had a receiver just drop a wide open touchdown. That was ridiculous. That was
Christian Watson. That was Watson, the first round pick.
I'm not gonna count Aaron Rodgers out.
It's time for him to go host Jeopardy. Fuck
the Packers will slap the shit out of the Bears this Sunday. You can remember I told you that.
And we're gonna slap the shit out of them in London. You can remember.
Well, whatever. I'll worry about them in 5 weeks. But this week the Packers are gonna get their cheese back. You'll see.
Oh yeah, they always bully Chicago.
The Bears won a good game. They also had a monsoon help them. So
I agree.
He says Macadam needs to be sent to East Jersey prison. The robbery he committed on his organization. Now, I didn't know that. I didn't know he told them not to pass it to Victor Cruz. That's stupid.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
But now when you say it, Roger Lewis was getting a lot.
Yeah,
he did. And Roger Lewis was getting a lot of. I thought it was because he was still hurt.
Cruz was a monster, bro. Nah,
he was.
Yeah, that motherfucker was undrafted. He was an undrafted player, bro. And even
I know all about Victor Cruz. He was a monster.
No, I know. I'm just saying for the people who don't know. But I mean, even the players said, yeah, he ran a 4.6 or something like that. But when he had the ball, he ran like a 4.3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
also a guy that went deep too. He went deep a lot for that season. We
And
were
he
all
was-
wondering
and
why
he
was his
was
snaps
clutch.
decreasing.
And he
Hey,
was clutch.
shout out to this guy right here, New York Giants content creator highlights. He got a dope channel. He takes all New York Giants content creators and make little episodes out of them. He said he's gonna feature us very soon in one of his episodes. It's pretty dope, man. I like what he did. He
okay.
created the bracket. Now I will say this. You got the Big Blue Crew as a 26 seed in the New York Giants content creator bracket. I want to know why we were so damn low. You got us a 26 seed. You got us facing Big Dash. And you got Dash as a number 3 seed. I love Dash. But you got us as a 26 seed in the bracket.
Hold up. What?
What's up with that?
Wait. What other 25
He said it was random.
higher than we?
You said it was
You high as
random?
hell.
It was random.
You high as hell, sir.
It's random like the Jets draft for the last 10 years.
Hey, hit him with the joint, Pat. What are you doing?
No, if it's random, then it's just random. Because I think they had Talking Giants as a 23 seed, so it had to be random.
I gotta say, I got something for him. If you want to place us 26, go right to hell ahead. But we're gonna come out number 1, baby. Watch and listen. Ooh wee!
Tell him,
that kid
Tell
tonight.
And it's hard
Goddamn.
keeping these Gators down.
Right.
Hey, it is
Hold
what
on,
it
let me
is.
show it to you. Hold on.
He make his own theme music just now. This
Right.
Oh,
Can you see it?
jeez.
A little bit.
Can you see it?
man.
Hold on, let me see this.
All that shit.
Bronx.
There's really this many content creators? Jeez.
That's Giants.
Oh, there are so many. There's so many of us weirdos out there.
Looks like it.
They got Nerding Out Sports versus Alex. They got the Just Giants podcast versus the Giants Report.
That's
You
disrespect.
got Online Big Blue Tim versus Rob Zero. Then you got Big Blue View versus Authentic in the Beard. Then you got Big Blue Banner versus Pest. She Got Sports. I think that's that. What's her name?
I'm the 20th seed. Man, that's horrible.
G Nation.
Yeah,
Shout out to G Nation.
You got the Hub and Kid Blue together versus She Got Sports. You got Mike Too Nice versus G Nation. You got Hit Squad versus New York Revival.
Hit Squad.
What's going on, Hit? You got Big Dash Nose against me. I guess he put me and Joel in the same group against me and Joe. Talking Giants versus New York Giants Rush. Locked On Giants versus Cop Pizzle. Diggy versus Sneaky G-Man. Then you got Miz versus Fireside Giants. Lord, you pulled a bad one, Miz.
Miz, you the 3rd seed.
Right. Entertainer and Bad Dog together versus Gridiron Media. Nate Talks Football versus El Jefe. What's going on, El Jefe and Nate?
El Jefe. El
No, you gotta
Jefe.
give me
El
this
Jefe.
guy's channel. I don't have his
That's
channel.
Spanish. It means the boss.
The Giant Zone versus Fist Vegas. And that's the bracket.
Unpopular
Oh,
opinion.
leave it up. I'm trying to write his name
Man,
down.
that's messed up, man.
Where's NYG Jeffy
Where
T3285?
is
Come on.
Unpopular opinion sports? NYG Jeffy T35, Coach
Mac
Ed,
the Giants fan.
Mike
Not the Giants
fan.
fan.
With
Adam?
With due respect, he's not. I don't think he was dissing y'all. Y'all did just start y'all channel like 2 months ago. He's probably been working on this for a year.
I'm gonna say this real quick. Biz, you better kick that guy's ass.
Not all
That
better
guy's
win,
ass,
man.
Biz.
Like screw that, man. Big Blue Crew.
Who's that? Who am I up against? He don't.
I got a question. How are you grading these?
That's what I want to know.
Yo, New York Giants. Hey, if you can come on for a second,
No,
tell
he
us
said
how
it
you
was
grade
random.
these.
I just
Like,
subscribed to him. I just
Yeah,
subscribed to
he
him.
got a dope channel, man. It's dope.
Yes,
Please put me down as Ms.
Guy,
and not
man.
my whole name.
But how are these battles won, or what's the criteria in order to win?
Easy. You get in the ring, no gloves. Let's go. I'm ready.
Hey, well, shit, put me in there then.
That's right. You got J-Lay either.
Well, I mean, I really
Put
do.
Nimar in there.
I literally have one video, you guys. That's 4 minutes. Okay? Let's calm down. Let's pump the brakes.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to put up a poll for 24 hours, and whoever has the most votes moves on to the next round. Okay, that's going to be pretty dope, man.
He didn't even have Entertainer or Bad Dog.
Yeah, he did. They're together. He did.
Oh, all right, never mind. I didn't see the two of them.
Bone crushing, whatever. You gonna have to say something if you want to stay on, brother.
What's good, man? It's Tommy, man.
Oh, what's going on, Tommy?
Proud because he tore up that boy King Henry.
Oh man, King Henry.
Oh yeah. What's up, H-Town?
What's up, Tommy?
But
man, ready to see these dudes ready to take over some of these games, man. They look real good game one.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna fuck up Carolina.
I think we are too.
They don't know what's coming.
They're about to get mollywopped.
Hopefully, we don't go in there too overconfident and fuck around and lose to these bums. But I doubt that. I think they will be guys.
Fellas, I will be at that game. I know it's a couple other content creators going out there, but I'm going out there and I'm representing for the Big Blue Crew. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. That's right, bro.
I will be at the Carolina Panthers New York Giants game Sunday.
They're giving out. I heard they're giving out white towels, so it's gonna be 90,000 white towels.
Waving. That's the way it should be at freaking MetLife. TD minus, what's going on, bro?
What it is?
Man, nothing much. You've been in the chat the whole night. Thank you for tuning in.
Of course, I need someone to talk Giants with everyone else in my family. Killing. It's only Giants fans. Everyone else, Eagles, Cowboys. I need someone to talk.
Yeah, I just subscribed to him. I didn't even know about him.
I didn't either. It's just tough though.
Yeah, me neither. You just gotta subscribe for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I gotta subscribe to you also. Yeah, for definite. Once I find out, subscribe also.
But yeah, man, you always come and talk some New York Giants football with us, TD minus. You know, we're the content creators that let everybody speak their mind about the Giants. We're passionate about the Giants, so why not let other passionate people say they spilled about the Giants? So you've been talking a lot in the chat, man. So I'll give you the floor for a second. Well, what you think about this game going to Carolina, man? Give us some TD minus takes.
I feel like
the Giants
Carolina. We going to Carolina. I feel like everyone was right. Daniel Jones gonna have to win this game. I feel like Saquon gonna break 100, but I don't think it's gonna be 100 to where he's gonna win the game. He's gonna have to throw it. But then our corner got hurt. I don't know about that. I want Slot to start. I want the rookie to get some play time. But I think we're going 2-0. Then we play the Cowboys next week. No Dak, 3-0. Stop playing. What are we talking about?
Cooper Rush.
It sounds good, man.
I know, Cooper Rush.
On that note, I'll let you know it's 2:30 in the morning. I gotta get my sleep. Get the wife for yawning over here next to me. Hey, good talking to you all. Hey, great conversation. Let's get it.
Hey, question: who's the Thursday night game channel gonna be on tomorrow?
John, I got that.
Lose.
Lou, you gonna be able to do it tomorrow, Lou?
Kansas City
and
Chargers,
right?
Chargers.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. Well, I'll talk it over with Lou to see if he wants to do it. If he doesn't, I'll call you and see if you want to do it or not. Then I'll just have to do it.
Yeah, you just have to do it. Thursday night, that's you guys. Don't get me involved.
You see how they treat me in this Big Blue Crew when they want to do something? Hey, Pat will do it. Go ahead and do it, Pat. God dog. Yeah. I'll do it, man.
All right. Are you going to call the game Thursday night?
Me? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Okay, yeah, we have to have Amazon Prime.
I don't have to have Amazon
$4.99
Prime.
a month and the football is free.
Listen, if you ain't interested in the football game, You come over to Miz channel. I got a nice tennis tournament going on over here in Palm City. It's gonna be 12-year-old girls.
He's gonna be watching that shit by himself.
I'm gonna get right out of here.
Well, if you can't get it, Lou, then I'll do it.
Who can't get it?
Then I'll do it. You said Amazon Prime.
He said, "Who can't get it?"
Later, guys.
Good night, Joe.
Listen.
Later, Joe.
I don't miss too many games, bro. Not when it comes to the NFL.
40 bucks, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, turn on your notifications. You should be able to get it, but YouTube be tripping, so I don't blame you. But thank you for tuning in, 40 bucks. Yeah, it is. It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It's getting weirder each year.
Yep. I'm just waiting until they say, hey, YouTube content creators, we need somebody to play the games. I'll be right here. I'll be right here. It's
Damn
coming.
right, bro. Damn right.
It's coming. I say it about 5 years. I promise you, it's coming.
What, 5 years, no more cable? Huh?
Mm-hmm. And they're going to put it all on YouTube to get these content creators to do it. Watch. There's too many content creators doing it. Why do you think they shifted over to the Eli Manning, Peyton Manning show on ESPN too? They're doing the same thing that we do.
That show is good.
Right.
If I was able to show the game, I'd be getting big numbers too.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Right.
So I promise you, that's where it's headed.
You motherfuckers done played, got rich, retired. You ain't got
So
no
let me
business
ask you guys
playing
a
no
Giants
fucking-
question.
Go play with
I
your
was
kids.
thinking about this
Raise your
also
families.
today for about a second.
Fuck off of TV.
The next 3 games are in MetLife. Are you worried about this turf? Because I am.
Yes, I am.
Absolutely.
I'm very worried about this turf. Hopefully, the turf monster gets the other team instead of the home team.
Yeah. Take their souls, not ours.
Nobody, but damn.
Yeah, because the turf took a Raven last week, right?
Maybe it's in the players' heads. I don't know. Maybe it's in their heads. If you go out there thinking that you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. So maybe they just need to stop thinking about it.
I've seen some players petitioning to get grass everywhere.
Next year there will be grass.
Last question, last comment. He says, if you had to guess, who do you think will win? I think it's gonna be some messed up shit. Like you gonna put me, Pat, and Joel against each other, and Miz and somebody else from the Big Blue Crew against each other. And we gonna cancel each other out, and you gonna let some lame ass content creator win the bracket.
Listen, content creator, I appreciate you putting me even on the board.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Square me up with that Tim, Big Blue, whatever the hell his name is.
I love that matchup.
A lot of people would love to see me and him go at it, man. I'll wipe that guy's face across the grass.
Hey, yo,
Put me against him.
I'm biased, but I'm going with my cats from the Big Blue Crew. Big Pat Sports Talk, G Nation, of course. Now, did I see Tommy up there? Is Tommy on the bracket? Because that bitch ass nigga blocked me on Twitter, and I don't even know why. Yeah.
Oh, he blocked
I don't even know why. He blocked me. When you put that tweet in the chat, I couldn't view it. It said I was blocked.
Oh shit.
Like that's some sucker shit, man. I don't know, man. I'm from Brooklyn, man. I don't do no sucker shit. You block me,
Brooklyn,
for real,
baby,
dude?
let's go. Born and raised.
Vote for Alex
I mean?
too. Alex
Right.
is in that
That's
bracket
some
as well.
sucker ass shit right there.
Yo,
But
last night I had a dream. I'm not making this up. This is gonna come off weird, but I had a dream that Lauren from Talking Sports was chasing me to try to get me with one of her trivias, and I kept running away. It was like a monster was coming after me. I don't know. It was a dream, you know. Like,
You should have kept that to yourself.
This. This. Oh man.
hey, don't be mad at my dream.
Yeah, when you see the Florida PD knocking on your door in about 2 hours, you know why.
Pat, can you hear me now? A little
They
bit
can't
better.
find me. They don't know where I am, Pat.
This that was good.
He said they don't know where he is. Niggas behind in the dark.
That's why I do videos in the pitch dark now.
Hey man, y'all
You're
gotta
stealing
watch
Nimar's gimmick. Nimar's the one that stays in the dark.
Funny as hell, bro.
I'm in the light today, Jeffy, so he can't. There's
Nimar's
no
the one that stays in the dark. And Miz is trying to take Nimar's gimmick now.
Right.
He's making these videos in the dark.
I'm in the light today. Come on, Jeffy.
I looked at this video. I said, "Miz forgot to turn on the light."
That's it.
I couldn't afford the bill.
Right.
Came up short on the payment.
Yo, inflation, man.
It's killer, bro.
Mel said it.
All right, truth is, I was at the football field. I had just finished reffing a game. It was a good game. And then all the stadium lights went out. And then I don't know, it just came to mind. I'm going to do a snake in the dark video because that's what the Giants are going to be this year.
Yeah, Dash, I'm going to shut it down real quick, big homie. I'm going to shut it down in a second, Dash.
What's good, Dash?
Number 3 seed, Dash.
Everybody welcome TD Midas to the crew. You know, TD Midas, you can come and speak your piece about the Giants. We're the content creators that let people speak their minds, as you can see, about our team, because everybody has an opinion that they want to speak, and sometimes they just want to come on. They have the balls, or whatever you want to say, to come and speak Giants with their face on the camera, which is dope. I enjoy that. So
definitely gonna be sliding through.
Yeah, pause. But
pause. I
forgot. You're gonna get used to that a lot. You're gonna get used to
Wait. Who are we talking to right now?
TD Midas. He was in the chat all through the chat.
Yeah.
I see
what's up, TD Midas?
Okay. I appreciate that. Appreciate the support.
Of course.
I'm gonna get everybody last thoughts before I shut this down. It's almost 12 o'clock, or almost 1 o'clock where y'all at. But what's y'all last thoughts? Any last thoughts about the Giants? You can say anything about the Giants against the Panthers or whatever. We're gonna get these last thoughts and we're gonna get out of here.
Giants gonna bust that ass.
I got a thought.
Go ahead, man.
We should have had Micah Parsons.
Man, the hell with Micah Parsons, man.
We got
Let's go,
Thibodeau,
KT.
man.
KT about to come out there. KT
now,
about to bust that. You know what? He gonna go out there and get 2 sacks come Sunday, man. That's my bold prediction. Unpopular opinion sports, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all having me on. Go ahead.
I got bold take too. I'm going with the other KT, and he's going to show up and he's going to blow up that Carolina Panthers defense. 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kadarius Tony, let him know.
I will let you know, Jeff, you're the same guy that said Kenny Galladay was going to get 100
yards. I did say that.
So if I'm a Giants player, I don't want none of your predictions, sir.
You really had to do that.
Can't get right with 100 yards? That'll be shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking with that one. I'm lucky he actually got 2 catches. He had as many catches as I predicted he'd have touchdowns.
No. I think that's where you were wrong. You had a vision, but you read it wrong.
Right.
It's all right. It's okay. You get a free pass.
I don't know what the fuck my vision was when I had that vision.
Galladay to get 2 touchdowns, and he had 2 catches.
It was 2 catches. But the background looked like he was near the goalpost.
Hey, but I will say
I understand the confusion. It's all right. We'll take the 2 catches. It helped us towards our drive. So
it got us 2 first downs. It didn't get us 2 touchdowns. It got us 2 first downs, though. I give him that. Jay-Lay, what you got for us?
I think we about to be 2-0, man. As long as we go in there with the, you know what I'm saying, the mindset of, not too high, but focus on what we need to do, I think we're going to get another win, man, 2-0. Just take it one game at a time. I don't want to get too high. But we about to be 2-0, though, on our way to 11-6.
Hold up. Yes, sorry. Wait, Eric Johnson. He said Parson was crying about guys chipping him. Wait a minute.
Yeah, he was.
Wait a minute. This is the fucking loser that people had the nerve to compare to Lawrence Taylor. Chipping was invented to try to slow Taylor down. Just to try to slow Lawrence Taylor down. And he didn't bitch or moan or whine or complain about it. He ran through them chips and still ate. So don't you ever in your fucking life, from the Cowboy Nation fan base, fucking fix your lips up to compare that crying ass bitch to the legend Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah. Wait until he sees two guys named Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. Until he sees those two guys on the offensive tackle position, he won't be anywhere near our quarterback.
I will give him that
unreal.
though. He does have 15 sacks in 17 games.
I don't give a shit. I never saw Lawrence Taylor crying about chip blocking. Tell him to put his fucking maxi pad in his drawers and stop crying. Pussy.
Hey, that maxi pad should have been on our defense.
Hey, I'd much rather have Kayvon Thibodeau than Micah Parsons. That's just me.
But you could have had both.
I gotta see him yet. I gotta see him.
I just listen. I like the kid, but when they started comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, I thought it was disrespectful. And now when I hear about him crying about chip blocking, oh, he's the baby, need a pamper change. Okay.
Nah, I don't think
Beat the chip blocking pansy.
Lawrence Taylor ever. To be honest with you,
No.
That's crazy.
You know that you're going to be one of the greatest to go down, no matter when the history is. When they have to put a position on the field to stop you. Not many players in this league has done that. I think he's one of the only players that did do that. And they changed the rules for Jim Brown. That's why he's considered one of the greatest of all time. And Jerry Rice was just a monster. And Deion Sanders, I believe, let it be cool to market yourself. I mean, he was just an athlete that the dude ran a low 4.2. And I believe he ran a 4.1, like you said. I believe he did it. And he was just that talented. But Lawrence Taylor is one of the only guys that I know that they changed the position to stop him. And it still didn't stop him. It barely slowed him down. If you really want to get honest with
blow the running back up and get right to the quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
That was that coat.
That's mad disrespectful, sir.
Hey man, I forgot who I was talking. I think it was NYG and said, "What if Lawrence Taylor would have been trash if he was sober?"
That was me. That was me.
The other night. Yeah, that was the other night. We were talking about that shit.
What if he was trash if he was sober? Yeah, that was.
Somebody bring this motherfucker 8-ball right now.
Yeah, they said his locker room was Harry Carson, Carl Banks, the plug, then Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that was Jay Lane.
The plug would have had his own life right next to LT.
Yeah, the plug ain't played one snap his whole career.
Hey, look, plug ain't played one snap, but he stayed making plays.
Right. But yeah,
he plays on the run in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Yo, scrambling. Like, yeah.
And I felt sorry for Ron Jaworski. When I look at those houses, man, he killed that dude. Like, he loved killing Ron Jaworski for some reason, bro. It was ridiculous, but
40 bucks in that booger.
Right. Oh man, Josh Gordon on that. Ooh wee, he can't stop smoking.
Nope.
Guys, I'm gonna go to sleep, but thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of here too, y'all.
Show.
Yeah,
I'm about to shut it down. Just final thought. We need to take this season one game at a time. Yes, we are on a track to where we could be around 4-0 after the first 4 games, but we need to take all these games very serious because the Panthers can beat us if we don't take them serious, and we can go to lose to Dallas with Cooper Rush if we don't take them serious. They are in the NFL for a reason. But if we take them serious and we get Thibodeau or Azeez Ojulari back week 3 against the Cowboys, we're going to whoop their ass. I'm confident we'll whoop their ass. And then we play the Bears.
Man, put me in the back seat with him. I bet you I'll beat his ass.
Right. And then we play the Bears. We play the Bears week 4. And Justin Fields, he can be dangerous. He made some plays against that 49ers team that were pretty damn good. So let's take this one week at a time, fellas. And we'll see us being 2-0 on Sunday. We take this team serious. We go out there and play Baker Mayfield the way he's supposed to be played, make his bitch ass run right and throw the ball away, or sack his stupid ass and make him fumble. And that's exactly what we're going to do to him. But Bookend says Crystal Carolina Kittens. You're damn right we are. So 2-0 this Sunday. Tune in tomorrow, Thursday Night Football on G Nation Inside Sports Channel, Big Blue. I think it's Kansas City versus the Chargers. That should be a very good one. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes versus. Oh no, Keenan Allen is out, so it's going to be Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler and Mike Williams. Still going to be a very good game.
Thank you very much, Coach. Greatly appreciate that comment, man.
Salute to Coach, man.
Says peace and blessings, Kings. Thanks for this show. The context, debates, and passions why this group, Big Blue Crew, is the best. You're damn right. That's respect.
That's true.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football on G Nation Inside Sports Channel, and I will be doing a film review Friday night for the Panthers Giants game. So tune in that on Friday night. We'll be live. Only guy that would do a film review live for you guys, and I'm going to enjoy that doing that film review for you guys. Thank you, Nimmer, for not being in the dark, looking like Michael Myers.
No problem. Anytime. I'll track that a lot more.
And everybody welcome Mr. TD Midas to the panel. He can come on and talk his spiel.
Appreciate it.
Looks like he's going to fit in very well because he was lighting up on camera.
Lord have mercy.
But Pat, before you
we are monetized around here, sir.
You trying to ruin the bag, sir.
Right. Ruin the bag with a bag.
He said ruin the bag with the bag. Oh, man.
Y'all are crazy.
We appreciate everybody for always supporting the Big Blue Crew. Look for us in that bracket. I'm looking to make it to the Final Four. I don't know about my other fellow Big Blue Crew members, but I damn sure should be in the Final Four.
There is no competition
right here and now. Right. Yeah. But we're going to do this old school, man. We're going to kick it out of here with a smoke screen. Appreciate you guys. And to the next episode, smoke screen.